On day 1, I spawned in as a lethal poison lizard in the middle of the deep dark Zelkova forest. Oh, I look like I'm one rad reptile, even though I'm just a little baby lizard. I wonder if I have any powers. I walked over to a tree and swiped at it. I didn't even have a tool or weapon, but it turned out I had a set of awesome poison claws that I could use for claw-based attacks. I certainly wouldn't want to mess with me. But just because I wouldn't mess with me doesn't mean other people wouldn't. This point was proven when a huge, dog-headed guy charged through the forest towards me.
You dares invade the overworld of the mighty Lord Anubis? You are a trespasser, and all trespassers will be annihilated.
Maybe we can work this out. What if I did some work for you? I'm really good at completing quests.
What kind of value would I ever find in a nasty little poison lizard? To have you in my royal sight disgusts me. I will crush you, destroy you, leave not even a memory of your presence. Prepare to meet your doom, lizard!
Before I could even try to reason with him, Anubis blasted a fireball near to me. I didn't feel like taking my chances. I just turned and ran off as fast as I could. Oh no, I'm gonna need to get strong enough to defeat that guy, or I'm toast. I guess being a poison lizard doesn't win you many friends right off the bat. I hid in the forest, but that didn't mean I was out of the woods yet, literally. On day 2, I continued my journey through the forest. It wasn't long until I felt my reptilian stomach rumble and decided that I needed to source some food. I don't see anything meaty around here, so I guess I'll settle for some fruit. Is there an apple tree anywhere near me? I searched for a little while until I found one, before striking it down with my poison claws and grabbing some yummy apples to eat. At least I know now that I won't keel over from hunger. It'll probably be that evil jackal god with the fireballs that does me in. Speaking of the devil, I saw a desiccated desert mummy walking out of the trees near to me. He didn't look friendly, I can tell you that much.
You must be the nasty little lizard that the great Lord Anubis told me about.
Of course you work for him, but why? He doesn't seem like he'd be a chill boss.
Fool! Anubis was the lord of the underworld, and with our help, he has conquered the overworld too. All who defy him must be eliminated.
Not if I have anything to say about it. I struck him with my poison claw attacks, but seeing that the desert mummy was already undead, my poison didn't affect him much. He was too strong. Uh-oh, all I could do was turn around and run, and I kept running until the desert mummy was fully out of sight. It was so frustrating to not be strong enough to defeat anyone. But when I stopped to rest, a ghost miner suddenly materialized right in front of me. Oh no, are you gonna attack me too?
No, Zozo. I am your spirit guide. It is up to me to help you fulfill your destiny.
My destiny?
It is unsafe to discuss here. Come with me.
He talked a good game, so I walked after the mysterious ghost miner. On day 3, the ghostly miner kept leading me through the Zelkova forest until we came upon a strange little cottage in the middle of the woods. This place seems a little suspicious.
This is the dwelling of the mystery sheep, Zozo. He is one of the allies that will help you along your journey to fulfilling your true destiny. Trust in me, and all will be okay in the end.
The ghost miner disappeared. He was certainly a strange guy, but who was I to disagree with the advice of my spirit guardian? Time to speak to the mystery sheep, I guess. I patiently waited at the door until it opened, and the mystery sheep trotted out.
What brings you here, stranger?
I was told to visit you by my spirit guide. He told me that you could help me fulfill my destiny.
Oh yes? And what is your destiny?
Good question. I'm not entirely sure, but it's gotta have something to do with defeating this Lord Anubis guy who attacked me as soon as I arrived.
Ah, Lord Anubis, an arrogant little god, and vain too. I can see why he would despise a little poison lizard like you. But there's good news in that, my friend. If he underestimates you, then you can take him by surprise. If you do that, then you may have a chance to defeat him.
With that advice, I left the cottage to go make my own way in the world. The mystery sheep is right. Underestimating me might be the worst mistake that Anubis ever made. From day 4 to day 5, I kept searching until I found a little clearing in the Zelkova forest, big enough to build a little base for myself. I'm never gonna get strong enough to defeat Anubis if I don't learn to be independent. But I can't accomplish my goals if I don't have the right tools. That's why I slashed down a tree and used its resources to build myself a wooden pickaxe. Then, I didn't waste any time digging into the ground to collect some stone and craft myself a stone pickaxe and a stone sword. The stone sword will be useful if I run into another one of those freaky desert mummies. With my tool building work done for the day, I finally put some effort into building a little base. I made it out of wood and stone to keep it sturdy and made myself a little bedroom where I could relax when I wasn't out adventuring. My day's progress made my spirit guide, the ghost miner, materialize right in front of me.
Zozo, you have done well. Every step you take brings you closer to your destiny.
Thank you, Ghost Miner. Your advice has been super helpful.
Good. I have a gift for you. Take some of my ghostly energy and feel your power grow.
The Ghost Miner hit me with a blast of powerful spirit energy right in my face, and I could immediately feel myself getting bigger and stronger. I now had 20 hearts, more powerful attacks, and the ability to fire poison blasts.
You will be the one to save us all, Zozo.
From day 6 to day 8, I ventured out of the Zelkova forest for the first time. I decided to wander around the Badlands, which had a warmer climate that's perfect for a cold-blooded poison lizard like me. Feels good to feel the warmth on my scales. But my trip to the Badlands wasn't just an exercise in pure escapism and relaxation. As I walked, I was suddenly ambushed by the same desert mummy who had attacked me earlier.
Time for some pest control. I'm going to destroy you once and for all, you nasty little poison lizard, for the glory of the great Lord Anubis.
I'm not gonna be that easy, Mr. Mummy. I'm a lot stronger than I used to be.
You think that matters to Lord Anubis? I'm just one of his mummy servants. Death is just the beginning, Zozo.
No, it's the end. I fired one of my poison blasts at the mummy to slow him down, then ran in with my stone sword to dash him and slash him until he poofed into nothing. That's what you get for bullying me, you beastly bundle of bandages.
I'm impressed, Zozo. Well done.
I turned and saw a mysterious forest guardian standing right behind me.
You have proven yourself to be a potential friend of the forest, my son. And if you help me rid this sacred place of evil, then I can give you wondrous prizes and powers. Do you agree to help me, Zozo?
That sounds like a great deal to me. Let's go. From day 9 to day 10, I followed the guardian of the forest deeper into the Badlands. It didn't take him long to lead me to a location where a huge, terrifying spider queen was waiting. That's what he wants me to slay? Yikes, I guess I'll try my best. I ran in and tried to mount a sneak attack on the Spider Queen, but my attacks weren't strong enough to leave any lasting damage, and I couldn't say the same for her attacks against me. I ran away as fast as I could until I rendezvoused with the Guardian of the Forest and told him what happened.
I'm sorry for sending you into danger like that, Zozo. All things considered, you're lucky to be alive. Perhaps being a poison lizard allowed you to have a greater immunity to her Spider Queen venom.
I think when I'm stronger, I'll be able to take her down. In the meantime, why don't you come and stay at my base? I really need to gain some allies right now for a battle I'm fighting against Lord Anubis right now.
Of course, you have assisted in my battle, so I will assist in yours. Lead the way, Zozo.
From day 11 to day 12, I returned to my base with the Guardian of the Forest. I immediately set to work, making him a room on the grounds of the base where he could stay while I was training. It wasn't all that impressive, but it was probably a decent place to get some rest at night. After I was done building, the Guardian came over to me with some good news.
I've built some upgrades for your base, Zozo, as an apology for putting you in a dangerous situation before. Go take a look.
The Guardian of the Forest had clearly used his supernatural powers to work fast. He'd built 3 upgrades, a chicken farm with a few chickens already herded inside, a storage room for spare equipment, and a furnace for smelting raw materials. This is incredible, thank you! And in fact, this gives me an idea. I went into a deep cave next to my base, and I explored inside until I found some iron ore, and used my stone pickaxe to mine it. Then, I went back to my base, used the furnace to smelt the ore into ingots, and turned those ingots into an iron sword and an iron pickaxe. I'm really moving up in the world! From day 13 to day 15, the Ghost Miner, my spirit guide, materialized into the base.
Zozo, you must return to the Badlands!
But why spirit guide?
Another one of Anubis's minions, the Desert Mummy, is waiting there. If you defeat him, you will ascend to the next level of strength.
As you wish, spirit guide. I ventured out to the Badlands again, and it didn't take me long to find the exact Desert Mummy that the Ghost Miner had told me about. I pulled out my new iron sword, ran in, and attacked until the Desert Mummy was no more. And this gave me enough XP to upgrade again and level up, getting me up to 30 hearts and giving me a bigger, stronger body and more powerful attacks. Whoa, the Ghost Miner is always worth listening to. From day 16 to day 19, I decided to go and explore the strange, eerie Weeping Witch Forest. It's like something out of a fairy tale, a really weird, spooky fairy tale. And it was an interesting place to explore anyway. It was cold and dark, and it felt like something eerie could pop out from around any corner. So it didn't surprise me when another desert mummy emerged right in front of me, ready to battle.
You have slain my undead brethren, but you won't slay me, Zozo. I will annihilate you in the name of my master, Lord Anubis.
I still don't understand why you're so desperate to destroy me. Doesn't your Lord Anubis have bigger fish to fry? He is a literal god after all.
Your presence offends him. We need no more reason than that to send you to the underworld, cold and lifeless.
Not if I send you first. I battled the desert mummy. Just like the mystery sheep said, the mummy had underestimated me, just like his boss. And in the end, I defeated him. Wait, did he drop some kind of note? I looked around and found a note that had been dropped by the destroyed mummy. It came straight from Anubis, and it said, "You bandaged buffoons have failed me for too long. You must destroy this Zozo before he gets stronger. If he reaches full power, his poison will be able to harm me. We cannot allow that. Destroy him now." So that's why he wants to destroy me so bad. I understand it now. From day 20 to day 22, I returned to my favorite mining cave to collect some more iron ore for crafting purposes. All this iron will perfectly match my iron will. I took the ore back to my base and used my furnace to smelt it into some ingots. Soon after, I had myself a tough new iron chest plate. Now I can really take a mean punch. It's time to settle an old score and go squash that evil Spider Queen. Afterwards, I returned to the Badlands, where I'd first met the Guardian of the Forest and promised to him that I'd defeat the Spider Queen that'd been plaguing the area. A poison lizard always pays his debts. I arrived at the Spider Queen's location, and this time, I was truly ready. With my weapons and powers, I attacked and destroyed the Spider Queen once and for all, freeing the Badlands from her terror for good. But my terror was just beginning. After defeating the Spider Queen, I heard something coming quickly towards me. I turned around, and it was Anubis himself.
Zozo, you monster! You destroyed my pet spider! You are truly my arch enemy!
What? I didn't know she was your pet spider. I just knew she was terrorizing creatures of the Badlands.
Yes, because I told her to. I have even more reasons to destroy you now.
I know the actual truth, Anubis. I know that if I get to my full power, my poison will be able to destroy you.
Oh yes, but you'll never get strong enough to be a threat to me. I'll destroy you first.
Anubis blasted me with fireballs, and I ran away as fast as I could. From day 23 to day 26, I managed to get back to my base in the forest with barely a scratch. Anubis had given up chasing me, but only for the time being. Even if he wasn't on my tail now, he was still out there and knew that I could put a stop to his evil plans if I just got stronger. And luckily for me, that was already happening. I met with the Guardian of the Forest again.
You've done well to slay the Spider Queen, Zozo.
Thanks. I didn't realize she was the pet of Anubis. But hey, without his creepy crawly, he's more vulnerable, right?
We can only hope, Zozo.
I was on a roll, and I couldn't stop now. I headed back to the mines to search for more materials and came across some more iron ore buried underground. I already have an iron sword, pickaxe, and chestplate. What else could come in handy? Oh, a helmet! That would be perfect, having some added armor to protect me. So I turned the iron ore into ingots and crafted myself a brand new helmet. That's when the ghost miner materialized again.
Zozo, come and see.
What is it? I followed my spirit guide. He'd been working on improving my base while I'd been off on my adventures. We'd now had a whole security bunker safe near the main base, a place where we could be secure just in case Anubis' forces ever tried to overrun our base. The bunker was nice and fortified, so they would have had no chance of ever getting in, and we could be nice and protected inside. From day 27 to day 31, I made the decision to venture back towards the Weeping Witch Forest. Even though I'd gotten rid of that nasty desert mummy the last time I was there, the whole place still gave me the creeps. Suddenly, I heard a faint voice, so I looked around to figure out where their voice was coming from. As I turned around, I was startled to see a gigantic axolotl right behind me. Whoa, don't sneak up on me like that.
Oh no, sorry about that, man. People usually spot me coming. On the count of me being a big, bright pink axolotl, didn't mean to startle you.
That's okay. Just tell me you're not working for that big jackal jerk Anubis.
Oh, no, man. In fact, I just wanted to come and say thanks for taking care of that desert mummy of his. Us amphibians and reptiles have got to stick together, right? That mummy destroyed my home, so I'm glad to be rid of him.
Why don't you come back to my base with me?
Aw, thanks, man.
Well, me and Big Axolotl were heading home. He had tons of suggestions about how I could make my base more homey with some new couches and bookshelves. Once we got home, I started to add his suggestions to the base, adding some couches and some bookshelves to liven up the place.
I actually have a real passion for interior design.
After I left Big Axolotl to relax, the ghost miner reappeared.
Zozo, I have another task for you, my son.
What is it? More trouble?
Indeed, I sense there are more of Anubis's forces nearby. We must act swiftly.
From day 32 to day 35, my spirit guide and I both left the safety of my base and headed back to where I had met the mystery sheep. According to the ghostly miner, the poor sheep was under siege from more of Anubis's dastardly desert mummies. The mystery sheep had given me some helpful advice before and offered me guidance when I wasn't sure what my destiny was, so the least I could do to repay him was help him out in his time of need.
Help! Someone, please help!
We arrived at the mystery sheep's dwelling, only to see it was swarming with desert mummies. I had only ever beaten a couple of them before, and only in one-on-one fights. But I had been getting stronger, and my confidence was already increasing, so I leapt into battle! I swiped my iron sword at the mummies, launching a few poison attacks, while making sure the ones up close got a taste of the full fury of my improved combat skills. I took out one and another, but while I was busy fighting my way through them, some of the desert mummies went after the mystery sheep.
Zozo, things look bad. It may be too late for me. Remember your destiny. I know you won't let us down.
I wasn't able to save the mystery sheep. Even by the time I had defeated the other desert mummies, there was no one feeling more defeated than me. From day 36 to day 39, I left to clear my head. The ghost miner offered to come with me so he could comfort me in the wake of losing the mystery sheep, but I told him I'd rather be on my own for a while. I decided I'd head back to the Badlands, feel some more warm sunlight on my scaly lizard skin, in the hopes that might cheer me up. I was contemplating what had gone wrong. I was stronger, but not strong enough to save my friend. Suddenly, while I was thinking to myself, a phantom fox appeared. Greetings, Zozo. I am Phantom Fox, a spirit of swiftness. I know you are grieving the loss of the mystery sheep, but I have a task you must complete. Okay, I know the mystery sheep wanted me to make everyone proud, so I guess me carrying on getting stronger is what he would have wanted. The Phantom Fox led me toward another of Anubis's minions, an Endergast from the Jackal God's underworld. I ran towards it, prepared to fight, and readied my poison attacks. But I quickly found out that my poison had no effect on the Endergast. So my sword had to do, and with a few strong swings, I was able to defeat the ghastly minion. Well done, Zozo. I know that the mystery sheep would be proud. He and all the other spirits are counting on you to defeat the one who turned on us. You mean Anubis was once one of you? Indeed, but he betrayed us and took control of the underworld, becoming its god. Now, he'll stop at nothing to expand his power up here and control everything that is, that was, and that will be. From day 40 to day 43, I made my way back to my base in the Zelkova forest. I was still feeling sad about the loss of the mystery sheep, but a little better after chatting with the Phantom Fox. But any of my sadness quickly disappeared when I saw what awaited me. My friend, the guardian of the forest, had been working on improving my base to cheer me up. The place had been adorned with plenty of pretty banners draped over the walls to decorate the place. Wow, this place looks great! What made you want to go to all this trouble?
Well, Zozo, I knew you needed your spirits lifted after losing an ally, and by improving the look of our base, I hoped it might bring new allies to us so that we can honor the mystery sheep and stand up to Anubis once and for all.
Decorating the base clearly worked, because a little while later, a spider llama arrived looking for a place to stay, so I gladly let them join us. When the day was almost done, I was finally approached by the big axolotl.
Hey man, listen, I've got a favor to ask. I left some of my special netherite ingots back in the Weeping Witch Forest after my old home was destroyed. Think you could help me get them back?
From day 44 to day 49, I headed back to the Weeping Witch Forest to recover the netherite ingots that Big Axolotl had sent me to look for. He still seemed a little uneasy about heading back to where he'd used to live, just in case there were more of Anubis's desert mummies creeping around the place. So I agreed to take on the task. After all, Big Axolotl was a cool guy, and he'd made some really nice improvements to my base, so I thought I'd return the favor to my friend. But I hadn't made it far before Anubis came bursting out behind the trees to ambush me. I knew there was something creepy about this place.
There you are, pesky little poison lizard. You've been trying to get yourself stronger, and I can't have that.
Scared of my poison then?
On the contrary, I have more important things to do than waste my time on a little pest like you. For once I control both the overworld and the underworld, I'll be able to have full control over who lives and dies.
You can't do that. That'd make you a monster.
Oh, you want a monster? I'll show you a monster.
Anubis vanished, but left a powerful warped phantom in his place. I was about to have one heck of a tough fight on my hands against this monster. From day 50 to day 53, I defended myself against the warped phantom's attacks. Since it was a creature straight from Anubis's underworld, it could blast bolts of powerful undead spirit energy at me. I tried my best to fend it off, retreating deeper into the Weeping Witch Forest to try and regain my health and come up with a better plan of attack. But the warped phantom wasn't giving up the pursuit.
You can run all you like, little lizard. My master, Lord Anubis, has told me not to return until you are destroyed.
I used the cover of the trees to stay out of the phantom's line of sight, sneaking around so that I could outflank it and take it by surprise. My plan worked, and I caught the warped phantom off guard and was barely just able to defeat it. But when I did, I noticed it had dropped something. It was a map with directions that led right to Anubis's pyramid. It wasn't a desert biome though, it was all the way over in the snowy taiga. Of course, Anubis might be the god of the underworld, but all his minions and mummies up here in the overworld are undead, so he must have needed to keep them cold. Now I knew where I could find that jackal-headed jerk when the time came to take him on. From day 54 to day 57, I did my best to find my bearings and get back on task to find the netherite ingots my friend Big Axolotl had stashed. But when I got to Big Axolotl's stash, there was a new problem blocking my path: a swarm of fire guardians. These things looked like they would be a tough fight, so I decided to use the same tactic that had helped me beat the warped phantom. I snuck up on them, and before they spotted me coming, I leapt into battle. I used my poisonous attacks, and they worked. The poison slowed the fire guardians down and allowed me to have the upper hand. One by one, I extinguished their flames, and after I defeated them, I looted the netherite ingots from the stash and headed back to the base to return them to my friend, and he was thrilled.
Oh, thanks so much, man. You hang on to them. I didn't really need them, but I thought they'd come in handy for you.
So that's why you sent me to get them.
Yeah, I told you before. We amphibians and reptiles have to look out for each other.
From day 58 to day 62, now that I was back at the safety of the base, I decided it would be best to stick around and work on improving things. After all, if the banners the Forest Guardian had put up were going to bring in more allies, then we'd need to be able to feed everyone. I used some wood to craft fences and expanded the chicken farm at the base, so that we had plenty of room for the chickens to lay loads of eggs for everyone. Who doesn't love eggs for breakfast? It was after I'd worked on expanding the chicken farm that I noticed the state of my iron armor. It had seen a lot of action, and all the bumps and batterings of battle had whittled away at its condition. This wasn't going to keep me protected for much longer, so I headed off back to the mine to search for something stronger. And sure enough, digging deeper, I found some diamonds. Bringing them back to the base, I turned them into a fresh new set of diamond armor and a sword and pickaxe to match. Now I had way more defense against Anubis's undead cronies, my sword could do much more damage against them too, and my new pickaxe would make gathering resources all the easier.
Zozo, behold our latest addition.
My spirit guide, the ghostly miner, showed me around the base's brand new party room. We could gather all our allies here, either to have a good time as friends, or coordinate who would be heading out on adventures, who would be gathering resources, and upgrading the base. Wow, this place is looking great! You must have been listening to Big Axolotl's interior decorating tips. From day 63 to day 66, the Guardian of the Forest had some suggestions for where I should head next.
You still have a ways to go, but time is on our side. While Anubis is regaining his forces and planning his next move, yours should be getting stronger. Head to the desert, Zozo. It can be a harsh place, but the heat there should invigorate a cold-blooded lizard such as yourself. And perhaps you will encounter some new challenges to improve your skills and grow your strength.
And so, I headed off in the direction of the desert. There didn't seem to be much there, mostly just lots of sand. It was coarse and rough, and it got everywhere, but at least here, there was plenty of sunlight to warm me up. All of a sudden, I was startled by an abrupt growling coming from nearby. I drew my diamond sword, trusting it could fight off whatever was coming. I was greeted with the sight of a wolfman and expected him to be one of Anubis's allies.
Relax, friend. I mean you no harm.
Oh, that was surprising. It turned out the wolfman was friendly.
Actually, I've been looking for someone to help me with something, and you seem like just the lizard for the job. What do you say? You up for it?
Sure thing. I came here to get stronger, so let's get to it. From day 67 to day 70, the wolfman led me to an open plain in the middle of the desert.
You see, there's these pesky soul blazes. They attacked me and took all my armor and weapons. I have claw attacks like you, but there are too many of them for me to fight alone, especially without protection from armor. So what I need you to do is draw their attention while I grab my stuff. Then I can help you take the rest of them out.
So, when we spotted the soul blazes, I rushed straight at them. They all turned and charged towards me as I swung my diamond sword and started dishing out much more damage than ever before. Meanwhile, as I battled the soul blazes, my new wolfman friend used his wolf speed to get closer to his gear that laid on the ground. He hurriedly got it all on while I chopped at the soul blazes, and with our combined might, we reduced them to dust.
Awesome! What a great fight! You can really hold your own.
I'm glad I could help. From day 71 to day 74, I was in the snowy taiga biome, feeling much tougher than I had when I started. All the hype that the wolfman had given me made me think I was about ready to take on Anubis himself. I used the map to make my way toward Anubis's pyramid. It was way more accurate than some of the old wooden signs I passed. One of them said, if you like this video, then you can find more by clicking on our channel or searching Zozo. Once I'd made it closer, I started to feel strange, like I was maybe a little tired. But that all went to the back of my mind the moment I saw Anubis's pyramid, towering over the rest of the frosty landscape. And I didn't have to get much closer for the underworld god to rear his ugly jackal head.
So you've come to give yourself up already, filthy poison lizard?
Nope. I'm a lot stronger now, Anubis. I came to give you a nice big dose of poison and stop all your crazy schemes.
You will try, I'm sure.
We clashed head on, and I took some swings with my diamond sword. But it felt heavier all of a sudden, and so did my armor. Like I was somehow weaker. Of course, it was the cold weather. This place wasn't just perfect for keeping Anubis's undead minions on ice, but the environment of the snowy taiga also made it harder for me to fight him. He dealt me some pretty bad damage, so I had no choice but to retreat for now. From day 75 to day 78, I made the long trek back to my base in the Zelkova forest. The whole time I felt glum. I had been so eager to take on Anubis, but in doing so, I had overlooked one of his major advantages over me. It didn't seem to matter how much stronger I got now, I would still be a poison lizard. And that was why Anubis had set up his pyramid in the snowy taiga. The longer I was in that place, the more dangerous it became for me, thanks to my cold reptilian blood. I didn't even feel like talking to anyone once I was back in the base. Instead, I just went to my room to be on my own for a while. Until, of course, the ghost miner materialized.
Zozo, don't be disheartened. There will be another opportunity to stop Anubis. For now, come and see. We've all been working hard to make some new improvements to protect this place.
I didn't really feel like it, but I let the ghost miner show me around. The base now had a tall watchtower reaching high up above the forest's tree line, so we could keep a lookout for any approaching danger. Even though I was feeling down, I had to admit it was pretty neat. Then, the big axolotl came to speak to me alone.
Hey man, don't worry. Nobody stays down in the dumps for too long. I got you this. Thought it might help. Consider it a thank you for all you've done for me.
Big Axolotl had given me a magic apple. It really did lift my spirits some more. I was lucky to have him as a friend, and even luckier when I ate the magic apple. I felt the magic from the apple transform me into a larger poison lizard, giving me 60 hearts and even a new power, a jump boost, so I could leap even higher on my reptilian legs. From day 79 to day 84, I was ready to pick myself up and try to take on Anubis again. My extra hearts would have made it easier to survive the snowy taiga, and now I had my jump boost. I could get up in the air right into his smug jackal face, and his attacks would miss me. When I made it back, there was no sign of him though, but a pack of thorn wolves tried to take some bites at me, so I showed off some of my newfound strength. They were no match for me.
My, very impressive.
I turned around to see a huge creeper spider. I kept my guard up, but then realized that if they were going to harm me, they could have used the element of surprise when I was fighting the wolves. Instead, the creeper spider offered to show me around the snowy taiga, teaching me a few tricks for staying warm while I was traversing this frosty part of the overworld. But best of all, they showed me how I could use some of Big Axolotl's netherite ingots. By combining them with my diamond sword, I had now made an even more powerful weapon, a netherite sword. From day 85 to day 89, I was heading back to my base to tell my friends the good news, but I was shocked by what awaited me. There was a horde of desert mummies attacking the base. With no time to waste, I rushed into battle to defend my home and my friends from the bandaged baddies. Luckily, my blade of netherite cleaved through most of them with one swing. Seeing I'd taken their numbers down, the remaining desert mummies ran off into the forest. I couldn't let them get away. If they made it back to the snowy taiga, they could tell Anubis exactly where to find my base, and he'd send even more powerful mobs to harm my friends. I rushed after them into the forest. They were a ways ahead of me, and before long, my base had disappeared from view behind all the trees, and so had the desert mummies. Darn it, I had to figure out a way to stop them. While searching the forest, I came across a villager. Hey, have you seen any of Anubis's mummies go this way?
Oh, I have. Please get rid of those horrid undead things.
They pointed me in a direction, but the mummies who'd been causing the villager trouble were a different group. Still, they were Anubis's minions, so I thought it'd be better to take them out nice and quick. My netherite sword made light work of them, and then I kept up the trail of the others, hoping I could reach them in time. From day 90 to day 94, I had been following the desert mummies for quite some time, all the way to the snowy taiga. Oh no, it was too late. They'd be able to report back to Anubis about where my base was. I made sure not to get too close as they approached the Jackal God's pyramid, where they were greeted by a huge beast, a vile ogre.
Good job tracking that poisonous lizard. I will head to that base and destroy what's left on behalf of Lord Anubis. Go and report your findings to him.
Not so fast. I leaped out of cover and stood in the way of the vile ogre.
Ah, there you are. Lord Anubis will be pleased when I tell him you've been destroyed. Do you even know who you're messing with, reptile? I'm Vile Ogre, Anubis's #1 henchman.
Tougher than my poison and netherite sword? From day 95 to day 97, my fight against the vile ogre started. He was bigger and stronger than me, but I had to remind myself that so was I. I'd come a long way since my humble beginnings, but even more importantly, I wasn't fighting just for myself this time. I was fighting to defend my friends who had all worked tirelessly to improve my base, who had helped me persevere when I thought Anubis might beat me, and who had been there for me at my darkest moments. They all deserved protecting, so every swing of my netherite sword or blast of my poison attacks was for them. Luckily for me, the vile ogre didn't realize just how familiar I was with the snowy taiga, thanks to the lessons I'd had from the creeper spider. I was able to use the landscape to my advantage, finding some higher ground that I could leap off of with my jump boost. It sent me high into the air and allowed me to get the jump on him, so to speak. I was able to give him one last strike with my netherite sword and a blast of poison to weaken him.
You bested me. How? How is that possible? Lord Anubis promised I'd be heralded in his new world.
He lied. You and I both know he's not the type to keep his word. He betrayed all the other spirits when he took control of the underworld. My poison will whittle away your remaining health in the next few minutes. Maybe think about using that time wisely.
Fine. Anubis resides in a chamber in the heart of his pyramid, surrounded by his undead armies. You'll never make it to him. You're just one lizard, all alone.
Who said I'd be alone? With the vile ogre defeated, I knew my time to take on Anubis for the final time would soon be at hand. But I was more determined than ever to beat him. I just needed a little help from my friends. On day 98, I made my way back to my base to see that my allies had already made repairs after the desert mummies had attacked. Since I didn't have to worry about repairs, I went to take a quick rest before the big battle. And just like that, the ghost miner appeared to give words of wisdom afterwards.
You've come quite a long way, Zozo. I am very proud, and the mystery sheep would be too.
Thanks. I couldn't have made it this far without such a great spirit guide. I won't let you down. I'll get to Anubis and put a stop to his plans once and for all. The guardian of the forest also had some wisdom to impart to me before I set off on the last part of my journey.
Remember, Zozo, that wherever you are, your true friend will always be with you. Even if we aren't by your side, we can still take us everywhere we go. We all live in the hearts of those that matter to us, and we care about you just as you care about all of those you've helped.
I'll remember. Thanks for everything. And last, but by no means least, my friend, Big Axolotl, seemed to get a bit emotional just as I was about to leave.
Just look after yourself, Zozo, man. You're gonna do great. Just make sure you come back in one piece. Oh man, I promised myself I wouldn't cry.
On day 99, I made my final return to the snowy taiga, prepared for a final showdown with Anubis. The forest guardian was right. I had all my friends with me, and I was fighting to keep them safe. Not just them, but everyone in the overworld. If Anubis got his way, he'd be in control of life and death, and I couldn't let that happen. Even to strangers, because they say a stranger is just a friend you haven't met yet. There was a huge horde of desert mummies waiting for me as I arrived at the pyramid. The cold was making them a little tougher than usual, but hopefully it wouldn't take more than a few strikes of my netherite sword to get through them. Suddenly, before I could get down to the fight, I was stopped by the Wolfman.
Come on, Zozo. Did you really think I'd leave this fight all to you? Can't let you have all the fun. Hey, nice new sword. That looks awesome.
Thanks, it's still pretty new.
You go on ahead, Zozo, my friend. I'll take these dusty old clowns. Go give that jackal jerk what for.
The Wolfman rushed in and led the desert mummies away as I ran in to confront Anubis. On day 100, I finally came face to face with Anubis at the center of his pyramid.
You accursed reptile! You really think you can put a stop to my plans? I am Anubis, god of the underworld, and soon the ruler of the overworld too. You are nothing, just a little lizard with no hope of defeating me.
You talk a big game, but you've been scared of me from the start. You tried to stop me from getting stronger at every turn. That tells me that my poison really can stop you.
Not if I destroy you first.
The final battle was at hand. Anubis came in quick with fast, powerful attacks, so I had to take up my sword to defend against him. He was ferocious. Part of me wondered if I could really beat him. My netherite sword was just enough to deflect his blows, but I couldn't get a good swipe in on him. He was just too quick. But I knew I had to stop Anubis once and for all. I leaped high into the air with my jump boost and launched the strongest poison attack I'd ever made. It blasted Anubis right in the face, and the poison started to immediately take effect. It chipped away at his health more and more, enough for me to jump back towards him and land a final blow with my netherite sword. I've done it! I survived 100 days and defeated Anubis once and for all! The overworld was saved from this jackal-headed jerk. I had fulfilled my destiny, and most importantly, protected all of my friends too. On day 1, I spawned in as the Grim Reaper. Then I noticed I was tiny, and I only had 3 hearts. What is this nonsense? I looked around and saw that I was in front of a castle. Ooh, this looks interesting. I'll take a look inside. I opened the door and called out, "Anybody home?" Maybe one of my friends lived here or something. I started wandering around and found myself in a throne room. What is that? I saw a man with a mutant wither skeleton. He was holding a scythe. Wait, I think that's my scythe. How did you get it? The man screamed in rage and pointed at me.
Destroy him!
A bunch of zombies came out from the back room, and I gasped in shock. Without even thinking, I fired an icy blast that froze some of the zombies solid. Huh, that's interesting. I guess this is because I'm as cold as death. I ran out the door and down the stairs as the zombies followed me. That was not what I was expecting. And why does that guy have an army of zombies? That's not right. I found a small cave and decided to sleep there for the night. Tomorrow, I'll find out what's going on. On day 2, I left the cave to go exploring. I walked for half a day until I found my way to the Autumn Forest. I don't really have a home, so I guess I'm gonna have to make one. I started collecting some wood to make a crafting table and a wooden pickaxe. After some additional mining and crafting, I had some simple stone tools and weapons. Well, it's better than nothing. I had been working so hard all day, so when I stopped, I realized I was hungry. What does a Grim Reaper eat? I found some cows and pigs and cooked up some food for myself. It didn't do anything to help. In fact, it made me feel sick. Gross! I need to find something else. I noticed that it had gotten dark. Suddenly, a group of zombies popped out and started attacking me. With my new stone sword, I was able to take them out easily. They had dropped some meat, and I stared at it hungrily. Maybe this will help me? I ate the meat, and sure enough, my hearts were restored. I feel much better now. I made it back to my base and worked on a few more things before heading to bed. On day 3, I went back out to find more materials for the base. It was safe enough, but I wanted to make some improvements. It turned out to be a nice day. I hope nothing too crazy happens today. I realized I had spoken too soon, because just then, I heard an awful crash. I ran to see what the noise was when I saw a Dread Queen fighting a bunch of zombies. Hey, leave her be! I rushed forward with my weapons. The zombies started to attack me when I remembered my trick at the castle. I fired out some ice blasts and froze up some of those nasty zombies. The others noticed and started to run away.
Nice job, Death. It's been a minute since I've seen you. Did you shrink?
Who are you?
I'm Famine. Do you know me?
I'm sorry, no.
Oh, this must have been Lord Terror's doing. I knew he was up to no good.
I was so confused at this point. Famine could see that I was overwhelmed.
You are the Grim Reaper, or Death. I'm Famine, and we have 2 friends, War and Pestilence. We establish order in the world. But Lord Terror, as he calls himself, started messing with stuff. He's been infiltrating the villages and turning people into undead.
That's horrible. Those souls need to be freed and move on.
I thought that's what you were planning, but nobody has seen you for a while. Now I know something bad happened. You're smaller and you don't look like yourself.
This is a lot to take in. How about we get back to my base? It's not a castle, but it's safer than out here.
Sure.
Famine and I made our way back to my base just in time for the sun to set. On days 4 to 5, I helped Famine make a little home at my base.
I was driven out of my home by the undead. I guess Lord Terror is getting more powerful as the days go on.
The house wasn't too fancy, but Famine seemed to like it, and she thanked me. No problem, anything for a friend. I went out to look for some more supplies when I saw a group of skeletons near a cave entrance. I'm Death, surely they won't want to harm me. As I approached, they seemed friendly, but then they started shooting me with their bows. Hey, we aren't enemies! Honestly, I didn't know anymore. I was just a baby after all. I used my sword to attack, and soon enough, they were all gone. Hey, what's that? I noticed a bow on the ground, and I picked it up. It had an enchantment of flame on it. Nice, this will come in handy. On day 6 to 8, well out in the forest near my base, I gathered some meat from some more cows and pigs. Famine got hungry a lot after all. I'm gonna keep working and getting stronger. Lord Terror doesn't stand a chance against me.
Is that so?
I looked, and to my surprise, it was Lord Terror. He had a few zombies around him. Let those innocent souls go. You don't have a right to keep them here. Lord Terror laughed and swung the scythe around.
I'm the Lord of Death now, little Reaper. I won your scythe fair and square.
What are you talking about? He seemed tired of talking, so he swung at me instead. Whoa! He was fast. I tried to dodge him, but he kept getting hits in.
I beat you once. I will beat you again.
I gotta get out of here. I ran as fast as my little legs could carry me. As I did, I heard Lord Terror laughing from behind me.
That's right, little Reaper. Run away. I will see you soon enough.
On days 9 to 10, I made it back to the base. Famine could tell I was hurt, and she tried her hardest to help me.
It's okay, Death. You will grow stronger and eventually beat Lord Terror. He's just a silly little monster trying to steal other people's things.
I felt a little bit better after our talk, but I still felt exhausted.
Oh, I almost forgot. I have a surprise for you.
She brought me outside to show me a statue she was beginning to make.
Ta-da!
It's great, Famine! Is it a tent?
No, silly. Do you really not know what it is?
I looked again. Can you tell what it is?
I also made some other upgrades while you were gone.
She showed me the lanterns and a small archery range. Wow, you've really outdone yourself.
It's the least I can do for a friend.
Famine was awesome. I was glad I was able to find her. I hoped our other friends were doing okay. I would go looking for them soon. On days 11 to 12, I had a vivid dream. I was a fully grown Grim Reaper with my scythe at my side. I was living in the castle that I had escaped from on day 1. Everything is as it should be.
Not quite.
I looked and saw Lord Terror, except he looked like a normal villager.
I believe we have a game that needs playing, Death.
With his dark powers, Lord Terror began to steal away my energy and my ability. He shapeshifted into his mutant wither skeleton self as I became a sad little baby Reaper. Ah! I woke up in horror at the nightmare I had just had. I rushed to Famine to tell her about it. She shook her head.
So that's what happened. I knew you made a deal with a dying human, but I didn't know you lost all your power in the process.
That can't be it. Why am I back, but as a baby? Why can he control the dead? Famine shook her head.
Maybe our friends know. I think it's about time we go find them.
On days 13 to 15, I went out to explore. I was hoping to find war or pestilence, but they didn't seem to be anywhere. I hoped they weren't captured or anything. I realized I was back in the area where I had seen Famine for the first time. There were a bunch of zombies milling around still. I guess they just expected her to come back. Get lost! I drew my bow and defeated them one by one. I didn't realize it until now, but I was releasing their souls from their bodies. I was freeing them. Nice! I managed to release all their souls when I felt a power coursing through me. I grew in size and became an older Grim Reaper. I'm bigger and I have 30 hearts. I realized I could also now turn invisible for short periods. That'll come in handy. I can't wait to try this out later. On days 16 to 19, I found a cave and decided to mine for some more materials. This looks promising. Hopefully I can find some iron in here. As I was venturing deeper into the cave, I saw a group of skeletons standing right on top of an iron deposit. It looks like I'm gonna have to take care of that. I drew my bow. They noticed me immediately and began shooting. Come on, guys, I just need some iron. After just a few more shots, they were all gone, their bows and arrows scattered around me. I mined the iron without any more trouble and got to work. I smelted the iron into ingots with a furnace, then was able to make a new sword, pickaxe, and some other tools. Yes, things are looking up. On days 20 to 22, I started to head back to my base when I noticed I was being followed. I went invisible briefly and waited for them to approach. Then, as the figure approached, I turned visible again and jumped out.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! I'm a friend.
He was a crimson wizard, and the red of his outfit made me think of anger, which then made me think, are you War?
In the flesh. Yeah, I thought you looked kind of different. You're, not as tall as you used to be.
I told him what happened, and he whistled.
That sounds awful. Hopefully you can get your scythe and your castle back. Those are pretty sick.
Thanks?
No problem.
I invited him back to my base, and he happily agreed.
And I thought my house was a fortress, you know, being war and all. But those pesky undead got inside and started breaking everything. So I left. Good thing I ran into you.
We were nearly to the base when we saw Famine running toward us.
Oh, hey, Famine!
She didn't even acknowledge War.
Death! Lord Terror is outside. He is threatening to take down the base. Wait, War?
Sheesh, it's like I'm invisible.
Stay here. I'll go see what he wants. If I need help, I'll call for you. War and Famine got to catching up while I approached the entrance. Sure enough, Lord Terror was there with my scythe. I believe that scythe belongs to me.
See now, little Reaper. I won this fair and square. You agreed to the terms.
I don't even remember what happened. And you're just a human. You can't beat death. That's my calling.
You're wrong. The witch gave me the ability to win this power.
Witch? Lord Terror screamed and charged at me. I dodged him and used my Ice Blast ability to try to stop him. It didn't work for some reason. What in the world? He laughed and lunged at me again. I slashed him with my new iron sword. I actually managed to hit him, and he looked at me in shock. I was about to hit him again when he slammed a scythe into the ground, pushing me back.
I'll be back to finish you off.
And with that, Lord Terror ran away.
What a coward.
I'll say.
I looked and saw War and Famine looking out from behind the trees. I did manage to wound him though, so that means I'm getting stronger.
Yeah, but you have a lot of work to do.
On days 23 to 26, I chatted with War about Lord Terror.
You definitely need some upgrades if you're gonna fight Lord Terror and beat him. I can think of a few things that might be useful to you.
Like what?
Well, you definitely need to upgrade your sword. Iron is alright, but you need some diamonds and an enchanting table to improve your attack.
Okay, where should I go? War told me all the places where I would find the supplies. It wasn't a short list. This might take a while.
You want to defeat Lord Terror and get your scythe back, right?
Of course I do.
Then get to it.
I started gathering materials for the enchanting table and managed to make one all by myself.
Good job, Death.
Thanks. If you think I'm doing a good job, be sure to join me on all my other adventures. Just search ZOZO. On days 27 to 31, I went to check on Famine. I hadn't seen her while I was gathering supplies, and I wanted to make sure she was okay. Hey, Famine, how are you liking your house?
It's great! Look what I've been working on.
She led me to the statue, which I could definitely tell was an hourglass. You've made some great progress.
Yeah, well, I'm not quite there yet. I wanted to add something special on top. It's a surprise. Could you get some white and black wool for me?
Sure. I made my way outside to find some sheep to bring back to the base. I found an abandoned village and spotted some sheep in pens. Perfect! As I went to collect them, I heard something approaching. A horde of zombies were coming toward me. They must have been the villagers that used to live here. You guys need a rest, and I'm so sorry Lord Terror is doing this to you. I used my weapons to release the souls from the undead. I was much more powerful and helped them all in just a few moments. Hopefully, you can all be at peace now. I gathered the sheep and managed to bring them all back to the base. It wasn't easy, but I knew that Famine would appreciate it. On days 32 to 35, I went to gather some more food for all of us. Pork seemed like a pretty safe bet. I know the pigs will be easy to find, but I need to wait until dark for the zombies. I decided to set up a little trap for them, and sure enough, they fell right into it.
Impressive, Death.
Who is that?
You don't recognize my voice? Shame on you, old friend.
Then I saw someone step out from behind the mushrooms. Of course I didn't notice her. She was a mushroom lord. She blended in. Pestilence.
Did you shrink?
Yeah, I shrunk. I told Pestilence what had happened, and she hissed in disapproval.
Now, why would you do that, Death? You are too clever to be outsmarted and depowered by some lowly wither skeleton.
That's the thing. I think Lord Terror cheated me. He mentioned something about a witch. I think that he somehow won because of her.
Well, the only witch I know of is Famine.
Hey.
I'm just kidding. I've heard of an apothecary that lives here in the swamp. Maybe that's who he went to.
This is great information. Pestilence agreed to take the food back to the base while I looked for the witch. Hopefully, she could give me more information about Lord Terror. On days 36 to 39, I journeyed further into the fungal patch in search of the witch. I thought for sure that I would find her, but I didn't see a house anywhere. Where in the world is she? I looked around some more when I saw a group of rabbits. They were acting kind of strange, a little too organized. Maybe they're her henchmen or something. I should follow them. Actually, they're probably just stocking up on food. How silly of me to think that they were working for the witch. Then I noticed that the rabbits all gathered together again. They seemed to be examining each other's food. Okay, I should maybe look somewhere else. Then the rabbits all bounded toward a large mushroom and disappeared. Whoa, where did they go? I quickly followed after them, running straight toward the mushroom. On days 40 to 43, I ran through the fungal patch, chasing the rabbits. What in the world?
Intruder!
A large group of rabbits came bounding toward me.
What are you doing in Our Lady's realm? Did you have an inquiry?
Is this where the witch lives? The rabbits gasped.
You dare call her such a rude name! She is an apothecary of great renown!
Sorry, I just need answers. I don't mean her any harm.
You look like you do.
Then the rabbits started jumping at me. Hey! I didn't want to hurt them, so I just tried to swat them away as nicely as I could.
Death? What are you doing here?
I looked up to see a friendly witch.
Friends, no need to harass Death. I'm sure he has a reason for being here.
The rabbits stopped attacking me and quickly surrounded the woman. Who are you?
I'm Amelia. I wasn't expecting you for quite some time.
I'm not here to collect your soul. I just need to know why you helped Lord Terror.
Lord Terror?
He stole my power and made me regenerate. He took my scythe and is using it to keep souls captive in their undead bodies. Amelia gasped and started to shake her head.
That was Logan Turner. I gave him a potion of luck. He said he needed it in order to fulfill his last dream before he passed. I had no idea he would use it for such an awful thing.
She seemed genuinely upset.
I can't undo what's been done, but maybe this can help you.
She went inside her house and came out with a potion. What is this?
A potion of strength. You will need that in order to get your scythe back.
Thank you.
I look forward to seeing you again, but hopefully not for a long time.
She waved goodbye as I left her realm, returning to the swamp. On days 44 to 49, I returned to my base. Pestilence, famine, and war were having a good time together. I noticed they had improved their homes as well as the wall of the base. You've been busy.
So have you, my friend. Did you find the witch?
Apothecary, and yes, she was very nice. I told them the whole story and showed them the potion.
That'll be useful later. I'm glad you were able to find her. Probably gave her quite a scare though.
Just a little bit. We all laughed and chatted for a little bit before Famine jumped up.
Oh, come look at the statue.
I went to look and sure enough, Famine had outdone herself. On top of the hourglass was a skull that looked just like my face. Whoa, it's amazing.
You've been a great friend to us, Death. It's the least we can do.
We admired the statue together for a little while longer and then went to bed. On days 50 to 53, I woke up to a loud crash. I hurried outside to see what it was, and there were zombies everywhere. I could see Lord Terror standing on the edge of the wall. Come and fight me yourself, Logan.
Don't call me that.
He snarled at me and then swung the scythe. It nearly knocked me over, but it also knocked out some of the undead. Time to be freed, my friends. I used my iron sword on the group of undead, freeing them from their cursed bodies. It took a little while, but I eventually got them all. You can all be at peace now. Just then, I felt a pain in my back. I grew taller and gained more hearts. I looked at my back to see what the pain was and realized that I had grown dark feathery wings. Whoa, this is amazing. I flew up for a minute to survey the damage. This is gonna take some time to fix.
Death!
I looked and saw Famine and Pestilence running toward me. I lowered myself to the ground. What's wrong?
Lord Terror took war. The undead were just a distraction.
No! I slumped to the ground. I thought I could protect everyone, but Lord Terror was too clever. He needed to pay. On days 54 to 57, we all worked hard to fix the base. We gathered supplies, made the walls taller, and added extra security measures, including a small moat. After working all day, we sat down to chat about our next move.
There's no doubt that Lord Terror took war to the castle.
Why do you say that?
Oh yeah, you don't remember. There's a massive dungeon in the basement. It has cages, traps, and all sorts of things. We actually used it to meet there sometimes for brunch.
Sounds lovely.
It was. We should do it again soon.
Famine cleared her throat.
Sorry, but he'll be there for sure. There is a back entrance where we would come in. Quicker that way.
Pestilence gave me directions, and I wrote them down. I needed to find our friend before Lord Terror did something awful. But first, I needed to prepare. On days 58 to 62, I went mining for more diamonds. I needed to make some better armor and weapons for myself, since I had no idea what I might face at the castle. I wasn't having any luck, and was about to go search another cave, when I saw a glimmer just up ahead. Diamonds! I walked forward, then felt something fall on me from above. It was a huge hairy spider, and he had brought some friends. I'm a friend, no need to hurt me. The spiders kept attacking, and I had no choice but to defend myself. Soon enough, they were all gone. Now, on to the diamonds. The deposit was actually really large, and I managed to make armor, plus a new sword and a pickaxe. Sweet! I felt just a little bit more ready to go save war. On days 63 to 66, I noticed that part of the statue had been damaged during the fight. I didn't want to finish it without war, so I just admired it with all its burns and marks. I'll save you, War. I promise.
Hello, Mr. Death, sir!
I looked and saw some of Amelia's rabbit friends gathering around me. You aren't going to jump on me again, are you?
No, sir, we need your help. Amelia has been captured by that Lord Terror man. We don't have the strength to get her back. Could you get her back?
The rabbits looked very concerned. Of course, he has my friend too. He's probably keeping them in the same place.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Death, sir.
I'll be back soon. In the meantime, you can wait here with my friends. They can help you. They agreed to stay while I rescued Amelia. This was going to be a little bit more difficult, but I was determined. And hey, if you like what you've seen so far, don't forget to subscribe. We love having you here with us. On days 67 to 70, I followed the directions to the backdoor entrance of the dungeon. It was hiding behind some trees and bushes. Good job me for thinking ahead. I entered quietly and made my way down, down, down. I didn't hear much for a while, so I thought I was in the clear. What was that? I turned a corner and saw a swarm of zombies blocking the hallway. They saw me and started ambling toward me. Get back! I used my wings to fly over them. I fired my ice blast at them from the air, freezing them solid. Peace, friends. I lowered myself in front of a door and opened it carefully.
Death!
It's about time you showed up.
War and Amelia were stuck in cages, and I quickly broke the bars to free them.
How did you know I was here?
Your loyal little friends told me.
They really are the best, aren't they?
Sure are. Let's get out of here. On days 71 to 74, we made our way back up toward the back door. Then I noticed a lever I hadn't seen before. It was hiding behind a pillar. I wonder what this opens.
Is that a wise idea?
It was my house. I'm sure it'll be fine. I released the lever and the trapdoor opened. I went inside and saw a chest in a small room. There's a chest!
Well, what are you waiting for? Open it!
I opened it, and inside were netherite ingots, gold, diamonds, and some other ingredients for enchanting. Wow! I climbed back up and showed War.
Hey, you can finally make that sword we've been talking about.
Right! We continued out, following the stream of daylight. On days 75 to 78, we finally made it out.
Thank goodness. I was beginning to think that Lord Terror would hold us there forever.
Not so fast.
Lord Terror came around the corner, scythe in hand.
You dare take my witch and my strongest soldier?
I am not a witch.
And I would never fight for you.
We brandished our weapons as Lord Terror snarled.
Why won't you just die?
He swung the scythe, but I managed to dodge. I then swung my sword and hit Lord Terror. He stepped back, then swung again. He was fast, but I was an equal opponent now. I could sense his fear.
No, 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 no!
He slammed the hilt of the scythe into the ground and blasted us back. Somehow, through some dark magic, he stole my potion of strength and drank it. On day 79 to 84, we all watched in horror as Lord Terror grew and grew and grew. He was enormous!
Oh no!
We need to go! Lord Terror laughed as I picked up my friends and flew away with them. This has to end soon, or Lord Terror is going to take over everything! On days 85 to 89, we arrived safely back at my base. Famine and pestilence came running out to greet us.
Okay, you better not cry, because I'm not good at dealing with emotion.
Amelia saw her rabbits, and they all jumped for joy. It seemed like things were at least a little normal for now.
Death, come! We need to fix that sword of yours.
War took me to upgrade my sword, and then showed me how to enchant it. Wow, this will really help, War. Thanks for everything you've done.
Hey, I love conflict, but not when it involves my friends. It's the fire aspect enchantment. It'll give your sword a burning edge. This will help you to get your scythe back.
How?
Lord Terror doesn't always have the scythe with him. He likes to hang it up in the main corridor and just admire it. I heard him talking about it while we were captured.
This is great information, War.
If you can fight him off long enough to get the scythe back, that'll be the key to stopping Lord Terror for good.
I agreed and went to show my friends. They oohed and awed before Famine spoke up.
Come and see what Pestilence and I did with the help of the rabbits.
They took me over to the statue, which now had wildflowers growing all around the base. On top was the skull, now with flowers and a touch of flames. Guys, this looks awesome.
You are the Lord of Death, but we know you have a soft side.
I do like flowers. I stared at it in awe. I really did have amazing friends. On days 90 to 94, I traveled back to the castle to retrieve my scythe. If I did it while Lord Terror was unaware, surely I would be able to defeat him. As I approached the castle, I decided to just hide next to one of the pillars inside the throne room and stake it out. I could see Lord Terror back to his normal size. Thank goodness. He was standing around, admiring the scythe. That's mine. I waited for a long time before he fell asleep. I quietly opened the door and snuck past him, grabbing the scythe from the wall. I expected to grow into my full form, but something was wrong.
Intruder!
Lord Terror started to charge at me. I brandished my new sword and smacked him backwards. He brought out another potion and drank it before charging at me. He was incredibly fast, and I could barely see him as he struck me. Oh no! My hearts were fading fast since I couldn't defend myself. I ran away, taking the scythe with me.
It won't work for you, little Reaper. You are too late.
I didn't know what he meant, but I flew away before he had a chance to attack me again. I need to fix whatever he did to my scythe. otherwise I'm dead meat. On days 95 to 97, I brought my scythe back to the base and had War examine it.
I don't know what to tell you. It looks normal to me.
Maybe Amelia will know. I took it to her and she examined it.
This is my fault. Lord Terror forced me to make a binding spell. He is now bound to the scythe by an enchantment.
How do I break it?
I'll have to make a counterspell, but it will probably take a few days. We might even break it.
Do it. She worked tirelessly trying to fix the scythe, and I did what I could to assist her. I really need this to work. On day 98, I helped Amelia with what I could, but she said I needed to wait for the result. I made my way outside and admired our base and the statue. It had been a difficult journey so far, but I was glad that I had found my friends, made some new ones, and grown stronger. Even if my scythe didn't work, I knew that I would defeat Lord Terror somehow. Hey, we're really glad that you've been here on this journey too. Be sure to subscribe and search for Zozo for more videos. Also, comment below on what my next adventure should be. I can't wait to see what you say. On day 99, I went to look for Amelia. She looked a little discouraged.
I don't know if the spell worked. You'll need to wield it in battle to see.
Well, then I guess it's time to go fight Lord Terror.
I'm sorry about all the trouble I've caused. If it wasn't for me, none of this would have happened.
Maybe, but I'm glad it did. I got to find my old friends again, build an awesome base, and meet you. You're an awesome apothecary, Amelia.
Which? But who's keeping track? Go give him, well, you know.
I smiled as I flew off towards the castle, scythe in hand. As I landed on the steps, the door was open for me. The undead were nowhere to be seen, but Lord Terror stood on the steps, sword in hand, potion in the other.
You can't defeat me.
We'll see about that. I took my scythe and slammed the hilt into the ground, causing everything to shake. I felt a surge of power, and I was connected to my weapon again. I grew taller, my hearts increased, and my wings spanned further. You have cheated death, Logan Turner, and for that, you must pay. Lord Terror drank a potion, and he grew taller. As our weapons met, there was a brilliant burst of light.
It's not fair. I am Lord Terror, the new Grim Reaper. I earned that title.
I lifted myself into the air, letting the scythe swing down with a mighty force. You stole that title. I am the rightful Grim Reaper, and now you must move on. Lord Terror screamed before the scythe made contact, and in a burst of smoke, he was gone. On day 100, I flew back to the base triumphant and glorious in my final form. Everyone cheered as I descended, and they even tried to hug me.
You're our hero! The world is finally right again!
And that was the honest truth. On day 1, I spawned into the Badlands as an awesome lava dinosaur. I may only be a baby, but I think when I grow up, I'm gonna be the coolest creature of all. But being that cool comes with certain drawbacks. You attract a lot of attention. That must have been why a terrifying soul blaze suddenly appeared in front of me.
Behold, 'tis I, the ultimate being, the Lord of Souls, and I wish to add yours to my collection, Zozo.
Wait, how do you know my name?
I know all. I see all, and in time, I will be able to do all. I will absorb your power, little lava dinosaur, and with it, I will become unstoppable.
My power? I don't even have any power yet.
Oh, but you will, Zozo. You will. Over the next 100 days, I will challenge you. I will hunt you. Through these trials, I will make you strong, and then, when you reach the height of your power, you will be mine!
Before I could try to talk him out of this wild plan, he fired an energy blast from his supercharged Soul Blaze rods. I ran as fast as I could, terrified by what he planned to do. I want to get stronger, but if I do, will I just be playing into the Lord of Souls' hands? This is gonna be a tough one. On day 2, I ventured out deeper into the Badlands to try and see what I could find. There's still a lot I don't know about this place. It's called the Badlands, but it seems pretty okay to me so far. I've got to be careful though. I only have 10 hearts, so I want to stay out of trouble. Suddenly, I heard my stomach growl. Oh, that's right. I've been alive for almost 2 days, and I haven't eaten yet. I better find some snacks. I wasn't sure what kind of food I could find in the Badlands, but as I was looking around, I spotted something red on the ground. Hey, apples, perfect! An apple a day keeps the Lord of Souls away. That's the saying, right? I ate the apples and felt much better with a full stomach. Good luck didn't last long. I saw some Vex piglins scowling at me and flying toward me.
Face us, Zozo. The Lord of Souls sent us to test your strength.
No, I don't wanna.
Too bad. Time to fight.
They got even closer and started to attack. I did my best to defend myself, but I had never fought anyone before, and these guys were way too strong for me. All I could do was run away from those terrifying Vex piglins, and in the process, I ran into a spider llama.
Follow me. These piggies can eat my dust.
On day 3, the spider llama led me to a campfire further out in the Badlands. It was a huge relief to find a cozy, safe place to rest for a while.
This is where the magic happens. And by magic, I mostly mean sleeping and hanging out with my buddy, the Fire Guardian.
I don't see a fire guardian until I did see one standing by the fire.
That's because I'm over here guarding this fire. Hello there, baby lava dinosaur. I see you too are a being forged in fire. May your flame burn brightly.
Thanks, I'm Zozo, by the way.
It's nice to meet you, Zozo. My name is Dennis, and this spider llama who brought you here goes by the name Zach.
I'm grateful for both of you. Those Vex piglins cornered me in a totally unfair fight. They were working for this awful Soul Blaze. Big scary guy. Maybe you know him?
Unfortunately, I do. The Lord of Souls means to add you to his collection, I assume?
Yes, he said he's going to wait for me to become strong. Then he's going to take my soul and steal my power. So I decided I'm not going to get stronger at all. That way, he won't get me. I'll just lay low and stay out of trouble.
I know it seems frightening, but you must seek strength and progress anyway. But you can't allow the Lord of Souls to steal that strength. Instead, you must use it against him so that he never takes another soul again.
Oh geez, that sounds like a lot of work.
It will be, but you will have help. No dinosaur is truly alone in this world, not when he has friends. Go with Zach and build your first base. We'll develop from there.
Okay, then it's decided. I'll become the biggest, strongest lava dinosaur I can, and I'll defeat the Lord of Souls before he can use my power to become unstoppable. It's the right thing to do. From day 4 to day 5, I got to work building my base. First things first, to build my base, I need some tools. I'm gonna need to gather some wood. Can I even touch trees without setting them on fire? I sure hope so. Luckily, me being a lava dinosaur didn't have any effect on the trees, and I was able to gather some wood. Then I used that wood to craft a wooden pickaxe. Next, I'll get some stone. I used the wooden pickaxe to gather enough stone to craft a full set of stone tools, including a stone sword. My first sword. Check me out. I'm not just a weak little baby dinosaur anymore. Now I'm a baby dinosaur with a sword. But I didn't have time to practice sword fighting. I needed to build a place for me and Zach to stay. I built a small house and added a room for Zach and another room for me. There we go. Home sweet home.
Nice digs. Simple, but nice.
We can always add more, too. Zach went inside, and I was able to follow him when a skeleton ran up and started attacking me. Luckily, I had my new stone sword, and I was able to defend myself. I was still pretty new to fighting, but I managed to defeat him. After the fight, I started to feel funny. Not in a bad way, but different. I grew a little bigger, and I felt stronger. My hearts increased to 30. Yay! As I yelled, I saw a blast of fire shoot out of my mouth. Cool, fire breath. I'll have to be careful not to accidentally burn anything down when I talk, but this is awesome! From day 6 to day 8, I decided that it was time for me to explore the area outside of the Badlands. I can't just hang around here forever. I've got to get out there and learn more about being a lava dinosaur. Like, what's the difference between a lava dinosaur and a dragon? Is it that I don't have wings? I gotta find out. I'd also stop the Lord of Souls from stealing my power. That too. I traveled to the Black Forest. I thought Black Forest was a type of cake, but I don't see any cake here. I guess life is disappointing sometimes. Oh well. I was distracted by the lack of cake when I saw a poor old fisherman being attacked by a nasty thorn wolf. I ran at the wolf with my sword and attacked. It took a while to defeat the thorn wolf, and it snarled at me, snapping its jaws. It was pretty scary, but I managed to fight it off.
Thank you, young dinosaur. I was afraid that blasted wolf would tear me limb from limb.
Yikes, I'm glad he didn't. You need your limbs.
I sure do. Can't reel in the fish without them, which is what I was trying to do when I was attacked by that beast. But if you think that thorn wolf was bad, you should see the other guy, the wolf guy that is. Say, if you manage to defeat that mongrel, maybe you can defeat this monster too. Could you give it a try?
Sure, I can try. Just show me where to go. From day 9 to day 10, I followed the fisherman to a place deeper in the Black Forest. Is it just me, or is it getting really creepy in here?
It's definitely not just you. You can probably sense the thorn-corrupted wolfman that's taken over this part of the woods. Which is a shame, because some of the best fishing is over here, and I can't get to it with him attacking anyone who gets too close.
That's not fair. I'll do my best to make sure you get your fishing spot back. Up ahead, the thorn-corrupted wolfman appeared. He had nasty matted fur and wild eyes.
Ow! Who's trespassing in my forest?
It's me, Zozo.
You, huh? Well, I was getting pretty hungry. I guess you'll make a nice snack.
How about you try some fire breath? I used my fire breath to attack, but the wolfman didn't even flinch. He came back at me and slashed me with his claws. Ow! Oh! This might be too tough of a fight for me. I ran back to the fisherman and away from danger as quick as I could. Quick, let's get out of here.
You're just giving up?
No, I'll come back when I'm stronger. But if that's gonna happen, we need to survive another day. Come on. The fisherman agreed, and we both ran out of there until we couldn't hear the wolfman's bone-chilling howls anymore. From day 11 to day 12, I led the fisherman back to my base. You can stay here until the Black Forest is a wolfman free zone.
Well, thank you, but is there any room for me? I don't want to be rude, but your home looks pretty small.
Well, I can fix that. Just wait right here. I'll build you a room. I got to work and built a nice room for the fisherman to sleep in. When I was finished, I saw that he wasn't where I left him. He had added another room to the base too. What's this?
Just a wee token of my appreciation. I thought you might need more room for items and such, so I built you a storage room. I hope you'll find it useful.
You didn't have to do that.
There is very little we truly have to do in this world. It doesn't mean it isn't worth doing.
I'm glad there are nice people out there, and not just the Lord of Souls and his minions.
Stay far away from him, my friend. He would love to steal a power like yours.
That's what he told me too. I'm going to do my best to defeat him so he can't steal people's power anymore.
Be very careful. I've heard rumors that he's been waiting for the chance to absorb the strength of a fire-breathing dragon. And as a lava dinosaur, you're probably the next best thing.
Yikes! Talk with the fisherman inspired me to keep working on upgrading my weapons, so I went to a nearby cavern to get some mining done. I gathered some iron ore, which I took back to my base and smelted into iron ingots. Then, I used them to make an iron pickaxe and an iron sword. Spiffy! Hey, with another new person staying here, we're going to need more supplies. I should find some animals. I spotted some sheep grazing nearby and decided that they would be perfect. I built a sheep farm for them and herded them into their pen. This place is really coming together. From day 13 to day 15, I was out of ideas for how to get stronger, so I decided to ask Zach for some advice. Hey, you're a tough guy, right?
Sure am. Why? Did someone say I wasn't? I'll fight them.
No. I just wanted to ask you what you think I should do to get stronger. What should I do?
Well, everyone's journey is different, little dude. But I do know that facing your fears is a good way to grow. Maybe try that.
Well, I was pretty scared in the Black Forest. I guess I can go back there. I'll just make sure I don't run into the Wolfman.
Ah, yeah. Don't mess with the Wolfmen. They're always looking for a fight, and they're no fun at parties.
I traveled back to the Black Forest, keeping an eye out for the Wolfman. Gotta face my fears. It's so creepy in here, though. Why is this forest so scary? As if to answer my question, some Vex Piglins popped out.
Maybe it's because you're nothing but a weak little baby.
Oh no, it's those Vex Piglins again!
Yep, we've decided you're a waste of the boss's time. It would be better to just get rid of you and find a better target for him.
Guess I have to fight you then, and face my fears. I used my fire breath to attack, then ran at them with my new iron sword. They fought back, but I dodged them. After a little bit of fire breath and sword action, I was finally able to defeat them. I did it! Zach was right. I do feel stronger. Oh, look, a health potion. They must have dropped it. I picked up the health potion and drank it. My heart increased to 60, and my claws got sharper. Cool, I have a new ability, Claw Attack. From day 16 to day 19, my exploration took me out of the Black Forest and into the Cypress Swamplands. So nice to change out those old trees for some new, different trees. And those different trees brought me good luck because I spotted a book and picked it up. The title said, Better Living Through Exposition. What does that mean? Better take a look inside just to see. Okay, it says that the Lord of Souls hides somewhere dry and hot. So definitely not anywhere nearby then. That's good to know.
Why, read about it. You'll be winding up there soon enough.
Vex Piglins? But I just defeated you.
No, those are some other Vex Piglins. There are dozens of us, dozens, and we're all coming after you.
Well, this worked before, so I guess I'll try it again. Fire Breath, attack! I used my Fire Breath, but it wasn't quite enough to defeat them. So I followed it up with a few swipes of my claws. Claw attack! Turns out, the Vex Piglins were no match for my new and improved claws, and I managed to win the battle. From day 20 to day 22, I headed back home to my base. On the way, I fought a mean-looking spider to test out my new abilities. It was easy to beat, way easier than the Vex Piglins. Okay, now I need to get back into the mines and see if I can find some more materials. Zozo needs some iron armor. I don't know why I talked about myself in third person like that. Let's go! I climbed down into the mining cavern and searched until I found some iron ore. Back at my base, I smelted the ore and used the iron ingots to craft an iron chest plate. This thing makes me feel pretty tough. Between this and my new abilities, I think I can finally fight the Wolfman. With my new confidence, and more importantly my new chest plate, I traveled back to the Black Forest to look for the thorn-corrupted Wolfman. I followed the sound of his howl until I found him. When he saw me, he growled.
Back again? Good. I was starting to get hungry. And you're bigger now. Even better. I could use a good meal.
He came at me with his claws, but I had claws too. I used my claw attack, and he looked shocked at how much damage it did. That didn't stop him though, and he attacked me again. But my iron chest plate protected me from his fangs and claws, and I was able to get the upper hand and win the fight.
Splendid.
I turned around, and the Lord of Souls was there!
You're getting stronger, I see. Soon you will be strong enough, and your power will make me invincible.
Or I'll use it to defeat you.
Impossible. You were born for this very purpose. A prophecy foretold that the power of a fire-breathing dragon would allow me to conquer all.
But I'm a dinosaur!
Close enough.
I didn't want to stick around to hear what else he had to say, so I got out of there as fast as I could. From day 23 to day 26, I ran away from the Lord of Souls and headed back to my base. I can't stand that guy. At least I have good news for the fisherman. Speak of the devil.
You do? I love good news.
Yes, the Wolfman is finally gone. You can go back to your favorite fishing spot again.
Thank you so much, Zozo. Next time I catch a fish, I'll name it after you.
Okay. Next, I went back into the mining cavern to find some more iron ore. Once I had it, I smelted it and used the ingots to craft an iron helmet and boots. Pretty snazzy stuff. While I was admiring my new armor, the fisherman came to talk to me again.
Before I head out to catch some fish, I built a perimeter wall for the base. Something to keep us all a little safer here. Just my way of saying thanks for getting rid of that man-eating wolfman.
No problem. Whoa, it looks great. From day 27 to day 31, I decided to return to the Cypress Swamplands to see if I could find anything else useful. I found that book here before. Who knows what else I might stumble on? Turns out, the answer was a fire elemental, and he stumbled on me.
Excuse me, are you the dragon that got rid of the Vex Piglins who were here earlier?
I'm a dinosaur, but yeah, that was me.
That was really impressive. They were causing a huge mess around here. But before you managed to get them, they got to my house and destroyed it. Any chance you know where I could stay for a while?
Follow me, I'll show you the way to my base. I escorted the fire elemental back to my base. Then I collected some fluffy wool from my sheep. You know what, sheep? I think this place is looking a little bit boring. What do you think? The sheep didn't say anything back, but I could tell they agreed. So I put up some decorative banners. Much better. From day 32 to day 35, Zach came to me to ask for help. What's going on?
It's Dennis! He's facing some kind of menace! I think that Lord of Souls sent some creeps to mess with him!
Oh no, let's go right away! I traveled to Dennis the Fire Guardian's campfire, and by the time we got there were Vex Piglins all over the place, and I couldn't see Dennis anywhere. You will pay for this! I rushed in and blasted the piglins with my fire breath. Then I shredded them with my claw attack. I was able to defeat a bunch of them, and once they were out of the way, I saw Dennis fading away. Oh no!
Zozo, you came. Thank you. But I'm afraid it's too late for me. Be strong. Help the others. Save the world.
And just like that, he was gone. From day 36 to day 39, I traveled back to the Black Forest so I could see how the fisherman was doing at his fishing spot. But before I could get to the fishing spot, a ghost miner drifted out from between two trees and approached me.
Well, I'll be. You look like a strong youngin' who might just be able to help out an old-timer like me. What do you say?
Sure, what do you need?
Back before I was a ghost, I was attacked by a deep spider around these parts. Suppose you could destroy that spider so I can finally get my revenge on the critter?
Sure. I searched the Black Forest until I found the deep spider. It was pretty easy to defeat with just a blast of my fire breath and a few swipes of my sword. Then I went back to the ghost miner. I did it!
Hoo-wee! Feels good to let my soul be at rest. Thank you, Sonny. Speaking of souls, better be careful of yours around that soul eater fella. If he snatches yours, there's no getting it back. He'll absorb all your power and leave nothing but a husk behind.
I'll make sure to remember that. Thanks. From day 40 to day 43, I returned home to my base. When I got there, I saw that someone had added a nice new lounge area outside. This looks so nice. It's the perfect place to curl up with a good book and relax. I'll definitely do that once my quest is complete and the Lord of Souls is dealt with. I wonder who did this.
It was me, little dude.
Oh, cool. But why?
I don't want to cramp your style, but I've got a few buddies that need a place to stay. Mind if they kick it here with us for a bit?
Sure, that would be great. A little while later, some other spider llamas came to the base.
Zozo, these are my bros.
Welcome to my base, everybody. After I said hi to the spider llamas, the fire elemental came to see me.
I know you've already done a ton to help me, but could you do one more thing? There's a skulk scorpion that's, well, skulking around the ruins of my old house. Until he's gone, I can't rebuild it.
I'll write him a strongly worded letter. Just kidding, I'll go out there and see if I can get him to leave. From day 44 to day 49, I traveled back to the Cypress Swamplands to look for that pesky skulk scorpion that was giving the fire elemental so much trouble. Is there a scorpion in the house, or around the ruins of the former house? I didn't get an answer. What I got instead was an unwelcome surprise appearance from the Lord of Souls.
Why waste your time trying to help other weaklings when you could be growing stronger, when you could be fueling my eventual victory over all?
This isn't about you.
Foolish Zozo! Everything is about me. Now, hone your combat skills and fight!
He disappeared, and in his place, there was a huge, powerful Pigless. I don't want to fight you, but I get a feeling I don't have much of a choice. From day 50 to day 53, I battled the Pigless. He was much bigger and stronger than me, but I did my best to hold my own. I did have one thing he didn't have though, fire breath, and my other dinosaur abilities. With the help of those moves and my positive attitude, I managed to defeat him.
You may have bested me, but only a pure heart and a diamond sword can defeat the Lord of Souls.
With those final words, he vanished into dust. Oh, that was a tough one, but I did it! Oh hey, sparkly! The Pigless dropped some mystical diamonds! I'd better take these with me. They'll probably come in handy later. From day 54 to day 57, I resumed my search for the Skulk Scorpion. No matter what the Lord of the Souls says, I know it's worth it to help out those who need it. I spotted the ruins of a house, and there, nested in the middle of it all, was the Skulk Scorpion. You can't just take this place, it's someone's home. The scorpion just approached me threateningly and attacked. But the scorpion's stinger was no match for my claw attack. Pretty soon, I had won. I sprinted back to my base and gave the fire elemental the news.
Wonderful, thank you, Zozo. You really are amazing. No wonder the Lord of Souls thinks you're the hero from the prophecy. He's convinced that you're the fabled fire dragon that can give him the power to take over the world. All he needs is for you to come into your full potential. Then he'll steal your soul.
I keep saying I'm not a dragon.
I know you love a dinosaur. I've met others of your kind before. You have many abilities similar to those of dragons, but you're different, too.
Thank you. I was starting to worry I might be wrong. So many people kept calling me a dragon.
Never let anyone tell you who you are, Zozo. You know yourself better than anyone.
From day 58 to day 62, I decided to make some quick improvements to the base. I built another sheep pen and found some more sheep to herd into it. Welcome home, little sheep. Next, I remembered what the piglet said about a diamond sword. So I went into the cavern and mined until I found some diamonds. I was going to use them to craft a diamond sword, but then I remembered I also picked up those mystical diamonds before. So I used those to make my sword, and the other diamonds to craft a diamond pickaxe. Afterwards, I exited my base and noticed Zach standing outside my door.
Little dude, I added some awesome stuff to the base. Check it. I expanded the resting area outside to make it even better.
This looks amazing! I can't wait to hang out here! From day 63 to day 66, I was trying to decide what to do next. I went down into the mines, where I was surprised to find the fisherman.
Zozo, I was looking for you. I heard that the Lord of Souls has his hideout in the dunes. I thought it might be worth a look.
Oh, that's good to know. It's definitely somewhere dry and hot, like that book said. I'll go check it out. I traveled to the dunes and looked around for any sign of the Lord of Souls or his hideout. I didn't want to fight him yet, but I wanted to be as prepared as possible. While I was exploring, I wandered into the domain of a Crimson Phantom.
Get out of here! No associates of the Lord of Souls are welcome!
Wait, I'm not one. I don't work for him. I'm trying to get rid of him.
Oh, that's great news! Sorry for the scare. Hi, my name's Coco.
Hi, Coco. I'm Zozo.
So, if you're a good guy, does that mean you could help me get rid of the creeper spider that's been lurking around and trying to bite me?
Sure does. I'm great at fighting spiders. From day 67 to day 70, I helped Coco the Crimson Phantom with her spider problem. It didn't take long to find the creepy spider. It was creeping around nearby and looking for a chance to bite her. Hey, there's a bug problem here, and I'm the exterminator.
I don't think spiders count as bugs, but I like your spirit.
I'm not good at bug science, but I'm good at fighting. I blasted the creeper spider with my fire breath, then attacked it with my diamond sword. Pretty soon, it was done for. That spider won't be bothering you anymore.
I can't thank you enough. I wish you lots of luck in your quest.
From day 71 to day 74, I continued exploring the dunes. If I can figure out where the Lord of Souls lives, I'll know where to go when I'm ready to fight him. Speaking of fighting and adventuring, if you want to see more videos like this, search ZO. That's Zozo, me. But that call to action attracted the attention of none other than the Lord of Souls.
Zozo, there you are.
Uh-oh.
Why aren't you cultivating that wonderful power for me? Soon it will be time for me to take it.
I tried to blast him with my fire breath, but it didn't even make a mark. He was way too strong. I had to run out of there before it was too late. From day 75 to day 78, I went back to my base and headed into the pool to cool off. I can't believe I had to run away. What if I'm never strong enough to beat him? What if I get just strong enough to help him and I ruin everything? Just then, the fire elemental came to see me.
That won't happen, Zozo. I know it. Hey, to get your mind off things, check out what I built. It's a watchtower for the base.
I'll admit, that's pretty cool. It's hard to be sad with a watchtower like this. Thanks. After that, my main man Zach approached me.
If you like that, then how about these apples? Sorry, that was confusing. There aren't any apples, but I do have this mace.
Awesome! Let me try it out! When I did, I felt magic coursing through me. I grew bigger and stronger. The gift increased my hearts to 100, and I felt like I had a new power too. I tested it out, and I was right.
Whoa, you have a dragon fireball ability.
Nope, I have a dinosaur fireball ability. From day 79 to day 84, I returned to the dunes, feeling much more confident in myself as a hero. I didn't see the Lord of Souls anywhere, but I did see a zombie shuffling around and tested my fireball out on it. It worked! I blew that zombie to smithereens!
Hey, that was really cool.
A big axolotl came over to congratulate me.
I got this for my uncle's birthday, but I actually think you should have it. You're a way better fighter than him.
He handed me diamond leggings. Whoa, thanks! Sorry to your uncle though.
Nah, it's fine. I'll just get him a gift card.
These leggings will go great with the rest of my diamond gear. From day 85 to day 89, I headed back to my base to show my friends my new diamond leggings. But when I got there, it was under attack. There were Vex piglins all over the place. Hey, get out of here! Stop! I rushed towards the piglins and started to defeat them one by one using my mace. But some of them managed to run off and I gave chase. I lost sight of them after a while, but I didn't give up. I heard a loud buzzing sound though, and when I looked in its direction, I saw a giant mosquito. Ah, don't bite me!
Bite you? Oh no, that's not why I'm here. I need help breaking apart this block. I've been trying for days, but I have no tools, and my little bug arms are too weak.
Quickly, I broke the block apart with my pickaxe. There you go. Gotta run. Bye!
I'll never forget you, kind stranger.
From day 90 to day 94, I tracked the Vex piglins to a spot in the dunes. This place looks super evil. Oh, this must be the lair of the Lord of Souls. I'd better not get too close. I noticed something I hadn't seen before. The Vex piglins had an Enderblaze with them. They were all listening to him and following his orders.
We messed that place up good, huh?
Yeah, the Lord of Souls will be pleased with your service. As his right-hand man, I will deliver reports of your loyalty.
I rushed out of my hiding place and confronted the Enderblaze. So you're the one who messed up my base. I guess this fireball is for you then. From day 95 to day 97, I began my battle against the Enderblaze. I shot a fireball at him, but he shot a fireball back at me. I dodged it, but just barely. Ouch, that's hot. Glad it didn't hit me, but this guy is really strong. This is my hardest fight yet. I drew my mace and attacked again. This time, I had more luck. I managed to do some damage, and that gave me the confidence to keep going. I got him with my claw attack, my mace again, and that managed to finish him off. When he went down, the Enderblaze dropped a key. This must unlock the Lord of Souls base. This is awesome.
Yeah, take the key. Go inside. It's right where the Lord of Souls wants you to be. Once he has your power, he will burn down the entire world to rebuild it in his image. Thank you, Zozo. You will ensure his victory.
With that, he was gone. I won't let that be true. It can't. I have to get ready because it's time to prove the Lord of Souls wrong. On day 98, I returned to my base, more determined than ever. I'm almost out of days. I've got to make every moment count. First, the fire elemental came to speak with me.
Zozo, you saved my home. Without you, I would have nowhere to go. I know that you can conquer this force of evil.
Then came Zack, the spider llama.
Little dude. Well, not such a little dude anymore. But you'll always be little dude to me. I'm so proud of you, man. You're gonna do great. Dennis would be proud too.
And finally, the fisherman.
Zozo, I've brought you a fish. In case you get hungry or need some extra protein. Good luck, brave dinosaur.
On day 99, I started my journey to the Lord of Souls base. On the way there, I passed through the Black Forest. Can't believe I used to be scared of this place. That seems like so long ago now. Finally, I reached the base, but it was crawling with Vex piglins. Oh no, I'll have to fight all of them to get inside.
No, you won't. I will.
Coco!
You solved my pest problem. I'll solve yours. Go, Zozo. Get inside.
Thank you. Leaving Coco to take on the Vex piglins, I unlocked the door and ran inside. On day 100, I entered the lair of the Lord of Souls. I had faith in myself, but I was still so scared that I would lose. If the Lord of Souls beat me, it wouldn't only be me who suffered, it would hurt everyone. So I guess the solution to this is, don't lose. I found the Lord of Souls waiting for me in his room.
Ah, here you are, as foretold, the missing piece in the puzzle of my total domination of all life.
Not so fast. I shot a fireball at the Lord of Souls and it hit him, but all he did was laugh.
Zozo, fire cannot harm a Lord of Souls. You cannot burn me.
I can get you with this! While he was gloating, I attacked him with my mace. He staggered back from the hit.
No, impossible. The prophecy. A fire dragon will give me the power I need to ascend to victory.
A fire dragon might have helped you become the ultimate ruler of the world, but this lava dinosaur is going to destroy you! I swung my mace again and again as we fought fiercely against each other. Finally, I landed one last hit and the Lord of Souls collapsed on the ground! I guess it turns out that when it comes to prophecies, close enough just doesn't cut it. On day 1, I spawned into the Badlands as a devil dragon! A devil dragon in the Badlands? This is so rad that I don't even mind that I'm a baby! I feel like I should start a rock band or something! But before I could come up with a cool name for my new rock band, something huge and dark rose out of the ground in front of me. It was an Endergast! Oh my goodness! I've never seen anything like you before!
Welcome to my domain, Devil Dragon. I am Lord Endergast, the most powerful being in the overworld.
Wow, it's an honor to meet you, your lordship. Is there anything I can do for you?
Yes, you can perish!
Lord Endergast blew a huge fireball at me, which I only narrowly dodged, destroying the summoning circle next to me. Why did you do that? I was so polite to you.
I don't admire politeness. I admire survival. That's why I'm playing the 100 Days game. And if you figure out how to play, you may just be able to survive this.
How can I play a game if I don't even know the rules? But he didn't answer me. He just breathed another fireball at me, and all I could do was turn and fly away. The 100 Days game? I guess I've got to find out what it is if I want to survive. On day 2, I finally stopped after hours of flying through the Badlands, trying to escape the wrath of the nasty Lord Endergast. I can't afford to be reckless against a villain as powerful as him just yet. I only have 10 hearts. If a battle goes bad, I won't be able to survive. But my hearts weren't the only issue. My hunger meter was almost dangerously low. I needed to get my hands on some food soon, or I'd be in real trouble. I searched around the Badlands, which didn't have that much vegetation. I was so relieved when I happened upon a lone apple tree that I almost cried. Sweet, crunchy, delicious, apple-y goodness! Just what the doctor ordered. I knocked down the tree and started eating the apples that it dropped until I started hearing a rustling noise that sent a chill down my spine. I looked up and saw an ender creeper walking towards me.
Don't be a spoil sport, Devil Dragon. My lord and master wants to play a game with you, but you've got no hope of winning if you don't keep your wits about you.
But I don't want to play this game. Let's just talk, okay? And my name isn't Devil Dragon, it's Zozo. Boom! Before he could say anything else, he detonated, leaving a big hole in the ground and knocking out a huge number of my hearts. Oh no, I don't have any healing items. There's no way I could survive another attack like that. That's when my savior arrived. A fire guardian appeared in front of me. For a second, I was worried he'd attacked me, and then he spoke.
You are the Endergast's latest victim. It may feel hopeless, Devil Dragon, but with our help, it is not. Come with me!
So you're on my side?
If there are sides, yes. The only sides I see are the survivors and the condemned. Follow me!
And so I did! On day 3, I followed the fire guardian across the Badlands as night fell around us. It felt like the enemies coming after me could attack at any time.
What is your name, Devil Dragon?
I'm Zozo. I've only been here for 3 days. I don't understand why so many people are after me.
It's because that monstrous Endergast marked you. To be marked means that monsters and beasts will seek you out. They will hunt you, and they will try to destroy you.
But why? I didn't do anything.
Perhaps he senses potential in you. Potential for fun. It's all a game to him. But I know a being that might be able to help and advise you.
Oh yeah? Who's that?
The game's last survivor.
The fire guardian led me to a campfire where a soul blaze was waiting. He sent me over to speak to the supposed survivor of the Endergast's game.
So, you're the new one he picked. My commiserations. You're in for a horrific 100 days.
But why? What exactly is the 100 Days game, and how did you survive it?
It's a grand hunt. Over 100 days, he'll send everything after you, every challenge and monster at his disposal, of which there are many. You will be pushed to the limit, and you will only have 2 choices, to hide or fight back.
I'll fight back! You can't hide from bullies like the Endergast. He'll never give up, so neither will I!
There may be hope for you yet. Make a base, find weapons, make allies, keep fighting, because if you don't, there'll be no hope for you at all.
He gave me a healing potion that I took for my Ender Creeper injuries and went off on my way. From day 4 to day 5, I started following the Soul Blaze's advice. With the Fire Guardian with me as my guide, I went further out into the Badlands to make myself a base.
Take these tools, Zozo. It will make your mission much easier. You can always make better ones later.
The Fire Guardian gave me a stone sword and a set of stone tools, which I used to start mining stone and cutting down trees. I soon had enough to start building myself a base. It was basic at first, just 2 rooms with some beds, one for me and one for the Fire Guardian. I hope these sheets are fireproof. Once the building was done, I stepped back to look at my hard work. It wasn't much, but it was mine, and I was proud of it. I didn't get to enjoy the moment forever though, as an Ender Blaze floated towards me, ready to attack. This really is a trial by Ender Fire. It wasn't easy, but with my stone sword, I was eventually able to defeat the Ender Blaze and destroy it. And when I did, I got enough XP to level up, getting bigger, stronger, gaining 30 hearts, and big, awesome dragon claws. Looks like I really am playing the game now. From day 6 to day 8, I was wandering through a new biome, the giant taiga, which was full of towering trees and lush greenery. A devil dragon looks kind of out of place here, but I still enjoy the scenery. I wonder if I can find anything out here that'll help me survive the 100 days and fight back against the Endergast. I was so lost in thought that I didn't notice an Enderman sneaking up on me. But when I noticed him, I immediately deployed my claws and started attacking him. He was a formidable foe, but my claws helped me gain victory in the end. That's right, I'd ended the Enderman.
That was amazing, kid.
Who's that? I turned and saw an evoker emerging from the tree line.
I've been hunting and tracking that Enderman for weeks, and you took him out just like that. It was amazing.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate the kind words. It's been kind of a rough week.
Tell you what, wanna come help me take out another monster? I'll make it worth your while.
Sure, it couldn't hurt. I mean, maybe it could, but I'm always happy to help. From day 9 to day 10, I followed the evoker through the giant taiga until we came upon a deeper, darker part of the forest. What exactly do you want me to take on out here, Mr. Evoker?
Truth be told, I need your help taking on a ghast.
Oh no, it isn't an Endergast, is it?
Endergast? No way. I've never even heard of that. This is just a regular ghast, but that doesn't mean it's not extremely dangerous.
Well then, I guess I'll make sure to proceed with caution. And even that caution didn't do me much good. The power of the gas fireballs repelled me quickly. I had to escape just to survive, then went back to my new friend, the evoker, with my dragon tail between my legs.
It's okay, my friend. Don't beat yourself up. How about we write this one off and come back to take him on another day?
Thanks for your patience, Mr. Evoker. Say, why don't you come back and stay with me at my base? I really need some people on my side right now.
I'll never turn down a free room. Lead the way, Dragon Boy.
From day 11 to day 12, we made it back to my base, and I immediately started working on a room where the evoker could stay. It was super easy, and before long, he had a brand new place to stay right next to my room. When I was done, he came up to talk to me about something.
Hey there, Zozo. I really appreciate you making me a room, and I wanted to show my gratitude. I hope you don't mind, but while you were working, I took the liberty of making a few upgrades around the place. Come check them out.
I was super impressed. While I'd been busy, the evoker had set up a brand new storage room where I could keep all my gear and resources, as well as a furnace ready to craft some new equipment. That's so kind of you, evoker.
Ah, don't mention it. It's the least I could do. Anything else you need? Don't hesitate to ask.
Well, to tell the truth, I could use some advice. I need to survive the Endergast's 100-day-long hunt.
I don't know much about this Endergast fella, but I've been a hunter myself. Let me tell you, a bad hunter will try to make the whole world play by his rules, but a great hunter will know how to use the world around him to his advantage. See what I mean?
It was great advice, and I immediately started to act on it. I headed into a nearby cavern to seek out some iron ore and brought it back to my base. With the furnace, I turned the ore into iron ingots and then crafted a new iron pickaxe and matching sword for myself. The evoker was right. I could use the world around me to my advantage. That was how I could survive and beat the Endergast at his own game. In my search for more resources, I also made a few extra improvements to my base. I herded a flock of nearby sheep into the area and set up a nice spacious pen to keep them secure. Things looked to be on the up. From day 13 to day 15, I decided to ask my guide, the Fire Guardian, for some advice on growing stronger so I could survive the rest of the hunt.
Taking on the Endergast won't be easy, Zozo, but smaller challenges can prepare us for the larger ones ahead.
I've heard some of his henchmen are stalking the giant tiger. If you're using the world around you, then use them to hone your fighting skills.
So, I set off on my new quest to take down some of the Endergast's minions. Reaching the giant taiga, I realized that this wasn't going to be as easy as I first thought, because I was outnumbered. A swarm of ender creepers were roaming around, and I'd already tangled with one of those nasty explosive mobs. But I remembered the advice from the evoker: use the world to my advantage. The giant taiga was filled with plenty of vegetation, which I could use as cover to sneak up and get the drop on them. I jumped from the trees and destroyed one on the spot.
Hey, where the heck did he come from?
With a swing of my sword, I dealt some damage, then ducked back behind the trees.
Hey, where the heck did he disappear to?
They searched for me, but only found defeat. When the last one remained, he puffed and boom! The ender creeper detonated. I emerged victorious, and one even dropped a handy item, a health potion. Drinking it, I suddenly got much stronger. I had now gone up to 60 hearts and even learned a new ability, a flame breath attack. Oh, now that's perfect for a devil dragon like me. Now I'm cooking with fire. From day 16 to day 19, I continued exploring the world and looking for some more of the Endergast henchmen to take down. I was feeling super confident about my chances after my victory and looking for my next big challenge. I stumbled into a new biome, the Crimson Forest. This place was crazy creepy. As I explored, I came across an old book that seemed to have been left by someone that the Endergast had marked before. If you are reading this, then beware. The one hunting you has no rules, no boundaries. He doesn't flinch at his adversaries. He fears nothing. That's why he does this. He hunts to feel alive and will do anything to catch his prey. Oh, I'd better watch out. The Endergast seems to have some real issues. I had been so distracted by reading the book that I almost didn't notice a familiar hissing sneaking up behind me.
There's the devil dragon that took out our buddies. Get this fool, boys.
More ender creepers! I was nearly caught off guard, but stood my ground and fought them off. That was a close one. Lucky I noticed them, or I could have been blown to smithereens. From day 20 to day 22, after my run-in with that last group of ender creepers, I decided it would be best to make sure I was better protected against oncoming damage. So I headed back to the mines and gathered up some more iron ore, turning it into ingots and then smelting those into a shiny new iron chestplate. With all this added armor and still feeling confident after my recent wins, I thought it was about time I got some more experience and headed back to take care of that ghast that the evoker had been hunting when we met a few days earlier. This ought to be a good warm-up for taking on the Endergast. Sneaking up like I had done before, I gave the ghast a taste of his own medicine and hurled flames its way. I was able to deal a lot of damage, destroying it on the spot. But I didn't get to enjoy the victory for long.
Do you really think you'll be able to best me so easily?
It was the Endergast. Where had he come from?
You really ought to be more careful with how much attention you draw to yourself. I was once like you know. Weak, inexperienced. Do you think anyone made it easy for me? Of course not. I had to prove myself as the greatest hunter of all time. And I'm not about to let an upstart like you undermine me.
Before I had a chance to fight back, the Endergast released a barrage of fireballs. I knew I wasn't going to win this fight. I had no choice but to take cover and retreat to safety. From day 23 to day 26, I managed to make it back to my base, but was careful to make sure I wasn't followed. Lord Endergast had already tracked me down once. I needed to be careful he didn't discover where I'd set up my base. I tried not to feel too defeated. It was still early in the 100-day challenge, and I just needed to keep challenging myself to eventually beat him. Plus, I'd already bested that regular ghast, which the evoker was really impressed to hear about.
That's great. Good going, Dragon Boy. We'll make a world-class hunter out of you yet.
Speaking of which, I decided it was time to get in some more practice of using the world around me to improve my chances of survival. I went off for another jaunt into the mines and gathered up the last of the iron ore I could find. I had plenty to make enough ingots to craft myself an iron helmet and a pair of iron boots. I had a much better shot at resisting incoming attacks. Now I was covered in a full set of armor.
Looking good, Zozo. I had a similar idea. I've been working on protecting the base. Check out our brand new perimeter wall.
The place looked great. Now I would rest easy knowing the base would be defended even while I was away. Plus, it provided added safety so I could survive for the full 100 days. From day 27 to day 31, I decided it was about time I tried to challenge myself again. If I was gonna use my environments to my advantage, then I couldn't limit myself to just the more familiar biomes I had visited. So I headed back towards the Crimson Forest. It looked like this place would be fairly easy to hide in. There wasn't a lot of light, and plenty of trees I could hide behind. Still, I needed some practice and finding good spots in the Crimson Forest to hide, because an iron golem was able to spot me with ease.
Hey, you know I can see you, right?
Ah, darn, I'm just trying to figure out how to survive against the Endergast.
Ah, you're that devil dragon that took out his ender creepers. I gotta hand it to you. This place has been nice and quiet since you took care of those guys. But I expect they'll start to muscle in again soon.
Why don't you come back to my base with me? That way, you'll be out of harm's way.
Say, thanks. You're all right, Mr. Devil Dragon.
Together, the Iron Golem and I headed back to base. I decided I would spruce the place up a little, so I gathered up some wool from the sheep and turned that into some fashionable decorative banners. Now we were surviving in style.
Zozo, come quick. The Endergast minions are out looking for those that have been marked.
Wait, they aren't here though. They haven't found me yet.
No, not you. The Soul Blaze. He was the last one to be marked, and he needs our help.
From day 32 to day 35, we rushed back through the Badlands to where the Fire Guardian had introduced me to the Soul Blaze. I couldn't let the Endergast get to him. He'd helped me start out on my journey.
Quick, Zozo, I see commotion up ahead.
A huge swarm of Ender Creepers were ganging up on the Soul Blaze, blocking us from getting to him.
So, the Endergast has finally found me after all this time. Couldn't run forever, I suppose.
The Ender Creepers were closing in, hissing and getting ready to explode. Before I could get close enough, there was an almighty boom, and many of them detonated, taking the Soul Blaze with them. No!
Hey, it's the other marked one, the Devil Dragon. Get him, fellas!
I had to fight back and managed to fend off the few Ender Creepers that were still left standing. But I was too late to save my friend, the Soul Blaze. From day 36 to day 39, I had to go and be on my own for a while. I was starting to worry that I wouldn't see this 100-day challenge through to the end. And even if I did, it seemed that the Endergast wasn't one to admit defeat so easily. Would this be my life now? Spending every day constantly on the run until Ender Creepers finally caught me? My thoughts were interrupted by the Hoglin.
Oi, why the long face?
Huh? It's nothing. Just thinking about some stuff.
Well, you got a minute to spare? A mate Blaze took my guitar, and I can't get it back.
Sure, but you really should say please, you know. I tried to keep my focus on the task at hand. I still had plenty of days to get through, and if I was ever going to outsmart a hunter as ruthless and unruly as the Endergast, then I needed to become a better hunter myself. I tracked down the mutant Blaze. Attacking it with fire breath probably wasn't going to end well, so instead, I snuck up a nearby hill to get the high ground, then dropped towards the mutant Blaze, scratching it up with my dragon claws and finishing it off with my sword. I gathered up the Hoglin's guitar, and he seemed to be apologetically grateful.
Cheers for your help there. Sorry I was so rude before. This guitar is all I've got to help me survive. I don't know what I'd do without it.
You're right. That's given me a fresh perspective on things. I need to hold on to what I've still got as tight as I can. That way, I'll survive the Endergast and his unfair hunt. From day 40 to day 43, I headed back to base and back to my friends. They had helped me make it this far into the 100 days, so I needed to make sure I took care of them as much as they looked out for me.
Welcome back, Zozo. I hope you're feeling better after some time alone.
I am a little, but I think I'll get by with a little help from my friends.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, as we are due to have more joining us soon. I hope you don't object, but without the guidance of the Soul Blaze, my fellow Fire Guardians need a refuge, so I've urged them to come here.
Of course, the more the merrier. Say, have you been decorating in here?
Just a few small improvements.
The Fire Guardian had really been helping bring the place together with some brand new couches and bookshelves. And not a moment too soon either, seeing as his Fire Guardian buddies soon started showing up. After I had helped to greet them, the Iron Golem came up to me.
Hey, Mr. Devil Dragon.
You can call me Zozo, you know.
My bad. I've got a favor to ask. Would you go to my old place and pick up my emerald stash? I left it behind by mistake, and I'm worried I'll get seen by one of the Endergast cronies if I head back on my own.
No problem. Leave it to me. From day 44 to day 49, I ventured back to the Crimson Forest to track down the Iron Golem's emerald stash. It wasn't exactly the most challenging task I'd faced, but at least I was helping out my friends. That was the key to my survival, working together. Unfortunately, I wasn't the only one who'd had that idea. The Endergast came bursting out of the shadows towards me, accompanied by his toughest stooge yet, a mutant wither skeleton.
Found you again, and you aren't going to be getting away so easily this time!
You're the one who's found me so many times, but failed to stop me. Face it, you're only trying to prove what a scary hunter you are, because in reality, you're just not that good at it.
I'm an exceptional hunter, and you want to know why? Fear! If you make the creatures of this world fear you, then they'll bend to your whims. For example, let me introduce you to my friend here.
Not tough enough to take me on yourself?
Oh, you naive fool! You think you can goad me? This is all part of my game, making you grow confident, even arrogant, all so I can make you realize how futile your efforts were when I finally beat you!
With that, he slunk back into the shadows as his mutant wither skeleton started coming towards me, ready to attack. I drew my sword and leapt into battle! From day 50 to day 53, I crossed swords with the fearsome mutant wither skeleton. This was by far my toughest fight yet. What the nasty mob lacked in speed, it more than made up for in strength. I had to make sure to put some cover between me and it when the creature geared up for another heavy attack.
Oh, the little devil dragon only made it halfway. Looks like you won't be seeing day 100.
That's what you think!
Huh? Where did that come from?
I remembered to use my environment to my advantage. While I was behind cover and the mutant wither skeleton was talking, I quietly slipped around to some cover behind him. Now he was looking in the wrong place, and it meant I could get the drop on him. I launched a flame breath attack and struck the mutant wither skeleton with my flames, then charged in to deliver the final blow with my sword. He was down, defeated, but not destroyed yet.
You're tougher than I thought.
Tell me how I can defeat the Endergast.
Defeat him? You'll have to find him first. He resides in the Dover Mountains, surrounded by his most loyal and powerful hunters. You might as well take these.
As he died, the mutant wither skeleton passed me a handful of mystical diamonds. These would come in handy later, I thought, so I held on to them. From day 54 to day 57, I continued to search around the Crimson Forest and eventually found the Iron Golem's emerald stash. Unfortunately, there was a problem. A mutant husk had picked it up. So I hid and waited for it to drift past me, then leapt out, landing a powerful series of claw attacks and dealt with it in no time. I headed back to my base with the emerald stash and was finally able to return it to my friend, the Iron Golem.
Thanks, Zozo. In exchange for this favor, I'll tell you an important secret.
A secret? What do you mean?
The devil dragons! Long ago, they were considered to be the most prized prey to an aspiring hunter wanted to prove themselves. But they were so rare that hardly anyone could catch them. Only one appeared every few hundred years.
That must be why the Endergast is so interested in me. From day 58 to day 62, I worked on making some improvements to the sheep pen, giving those woolly guys a lot more space to roam around freely. But after I had done that, I remembered about those mystical diamonds I had taken from the mutant wither skeleton. I didn't have enough to craft weapons with, but I bet that if I could find some additional diamonds, I could make something pretty special with these. So that's what I did. I ventured down into the mines, and sure enough, there, embedded in the stony walls, were some shiny, untouched diamonds. I knocked them free with my pickaxe and took them back to my base. There, I combined them with the mystical diamonds to create a brand new diamond sword and pickaxe to match. They were both imbued with the magic of the mystical diamonds. It was then that the Fire Guardian came to tell me about some of the new improvements he had been making to the base while I'd been busy.
Take a look over here. I've made the living area more comfortable to accommodate everyone that's staying here at the base. And there's even a fireplace. My fellow Fire Guardians were feeling a little aimless without some fire to guard.
Wow, these are some impressive upgrades. From day 63 to day 66, I decided to have a chat with my old pal, the Evoker. Since he was a more accomplished hunter, I figured he might know something about the mountains where the Endergast's base supposedly was.
Smart call asking me. That's the mark of a hunter who's willing to learn from the experience of others. Mountains, eh? Not the nicest of places. Shame that you'll have to head over there. If you head due west from here, you'll find the path there. But watch your footing. It's a treacherous biome to be in.
I set off in the direction that the evoker had pointed me in, and before long, I found myself in the mountains. This place looked pretty desolate, even more than the Badlands or the Crimson Forest. Something about all those stony spires made it seem unforgiving. I suddenly got startled and instantly turned to face what I thought was my attacker. I was prepared to face off against some of the toughest mobs working for the Endergast, and when I saw a mutant hoglin, I thought he was after me.
Hey, take it easy, bro.
Wait, you're not here to attack me for the Endergast?
What, that jerk? No way, bro. I'm a hunter. I've been on the trail of a wild blue manticore. A fascinating but aggressive beast. You look like an aspiring hunter too. Fancy coming along to show me what you got?
Okay, let's go. But we should tread quietly. Don't want to attract too much attention.
Ah, good call. I can tell you've done this before.
From day 67 to day 70, I ventured further into the unfamiliar terrain of the mountains. The mutant hoglin hunter was a pretty good tracker and showed me some of the tracks that the blue manticore had left. I took the opportunity to get familiar with this new biome. After all, if the Endergast was hiding somewhere here, I'd need to make sure I could use the mountains to my advantage. Before long, we had found the blue manticore's lair. I took the lead, making sure I was staying nice and stealthy. Once I was at the edge of the cave, I used my flame breath to smoke out the blue manticore into the open. I leapt into action, swiping my claws at the surprised creature. The blue manticore's hide was tough to pierce with my dragon claws, but not enough for my diamond sword. My blade cut through the armored hide with ease, and I felled the beast at last.
That was some nice hunting there, Zozo. Well, happy trails. Maybe I'll see you around sometime, bro.
Huh, what an odd dude. From day 71 to day 74, I continued my exploration of the mountains, trying to figure out where the Endergast had hidden his base. This was a far more dangerous biome than the others I had visited. In some of the more elevated parts, one wrong step could lead to a nasty fall. While carefully navigating a mountain, I was sure that I saw a rock formation that seemed to spell out words. It read, "If you're enjoying this video, then be sure to watch more by searching for Zozo. Huh, must be a trick of light. Or maybe this altitude is making me lightheaded. I carefully skidded down to the foot of the mountain, only to see a familiar, frightening face waiting for me. It was the dreaded Lord Endergast.
What do you think you're doing here? These mountains are my territory. How dare you? You think you can track me here to my mountains and expect to make it out alive?
Wow, he's really mad. I didn't expect him to be so precious about the mountains. I quickly dodged out of the path of an oncoming fireball and grabbed my sword. The diamond blade caught the Endergast by surprise, and for a moment, I thought I might be able to actually get the upper hand on him. But he was still too strong, fending me off with ease as he regained his composure. I had to get out of there, and fast. It was time for another timely retreat back to the base. From day 75 to day 78, I went back to my base and sat down in my room for a bit. I wasn't feeling too good about running away from the Endergast again. I knew it was the smartest thing I could have done in the situation, otherwise I would have been done for. But it still stung a little, knowing I hadn't beaten him.
Hey, you Zozo, don't let it get you down. Maybe seeing our brand new watchtower will lift your spirits.
While I was gone, the Iron Golem had been working on adding a watchtower to the base so we could see threats coming from afar. I had to admit, climbing up to the top, that the view really put a smile on my face, but not as much as what happened next.
Zozo, I've been looking for you. My fellow Fire Guardians and I have been working on a thank you gift for you. Here, drink this potion.
I took the magical upgrade potion and suddenly felt myself getting much stronger. Wow, I now had a whole 100 hearts. And to make things even better, I had improved my fireball attack into a mighty dragon fireball attack. Now I was really living up to my devil dragon name. From day 79 to day 84, feeling more confident and much more powerful, I decided to head back towards the mountains to confront the Endergast. But when I made it back to the spot where we had last clashed, he was nowhere to be found. I did have a run-in with a fire ogre. There were so many different mobs in the mountains that this biome was almost like a whole other world. I quickly learned that fire ogres were resistant to my dragon fireball attack, but it didn't fare as well against my sword and the forces of gravity. After I defeated the fire ogre, I searched their lair for any interesting loot and stumbled upon an imprisoned black kitty.
Oh, thank you. That horrid ogre wanted to eat me. Please get me out of here, and I'll show you where they keep their most prized possession.
I helped out the kitty, and to say thank you, she gave me a diamond helmet from the ogre's private treasure stash. Wow, this is great! I've been in need of a new helmet. From day 85 to day 89, I was heading back when, to my horror, I was met with the awful sight of a group of ender creepers attacking my base. Hey, get the heck out of here! Scram!
Look out, boys! It's the Devil Dragon!
I rushed after them, quickly checking to see if my friends were okay. To my relief, nobody was seriously injured, although our poor base had seen better days. I remembered my experiences as a hunter and followed the trail of the ender creepers. I made sure to use all of my environment to my advantage, including asking a passing darkness ostrich if he'd seen those creepers.
Yeah, you just missed them. They were heading that way. Take them out. Last thing we want is Endergast goons ramming these badlands.
I caught up with the ender creepers and wasted no time launching a huge dragon fireball attack. But then, it hit me. They were heading back towards the mountains. I could use this to my advantage too. These ender creepers could lead me to the Endergast base. From day 90 to day 94, I kept up with the ender creepers as they fled back to their boss, the Endergast. Sure enough, keeping on their trail led me right to the Endergast's hidden base in the heart of the mountains. I leapt in to finish off the last of the ghast creeper cronies. I had to make sure they didn't reveal my base's location. But before I could even think about what to do next, a huge two-headed nether ogre came stomping out of the base towards me.
So you're the Devil Dragon? You don't look so tough. The boss says it's time to end this game. For good.
This two-headed nether ogre looked like he wouldn't go down easy. I was in for my toughest fight yet. From day 95 to day 97, I clashed with the two-headed nether ogre. It wasn't an easy fight at all. The ogre was one tough customer. He swung at me, and I had to duck out of the way. Even with my new helmet, he could have knocked my block off. I blasted him with a dragon fireball attack and followed it up with relentless slashes of my sword. There was no way to use my surroundings to help. I just had to keep up the attack. And luckily, it finally seemed to work. A well-timed fireball knocked the two-headed nether ogre off his feet, and he came toppling over with a loud thud.
Ah, dang it! The boss is gonna be so angry with me.
Why even work for an Endergast in the first place? You're a tough guy. I'm sure even you can't possibly be scared of him.
I got no choice. I was mocked once in his 100 days hunting game. I lasted as long as I could, but he caught up to me in the end. Because I'd impressed him, he forced me to be his henchman for 100 years.
So he could trap me like that too. Man, this guy really is a jerk.
You said it, pal.
With that, the two-headed nether ogre passed on. I had to double back to my base as quick as possible and make sure everything was okay. On day 98, I made the journey back to my base and assessed some of the damage the ender creepers had left in their attack. Fortunately, it wasn't too bad, all things considered. Most of the damage was taken by the perimeter wall, and that's what it was there for. Look guys, I need to stop the Endergast once and for all. If I don't act now, then there's a chance he won't ever let me go. You've all helped me get this far, so thank you very much. First, the Fire Guardian came to say goodbye.
The Fire Guardians have your back, Zozo. We will defend all you've built here while you go forth. The Soul Blaze would be proud of you.
Then, the Iron Golem.
Well, Mr. Devil Dragon, you gave me a place to stay out of harm's way, and I'm grateful for that. That's way nicer than the Endergast or his cronies have ever been to me. So I say, go kick their butts.
And finally, the Evoker.
You've become a mighty fine hunter, Zozo. You've listened to all my advice, and there's nothing more I can teach you. Just follow your instincts, and you'll prevail.
With that, I headed off to finally end my 100 days for good. On day 99, I retraced my steps and found myself back where I wanted to be, right outside the Endergast base. He must have realized I took down its two-headed nether ogre because the place was swarming with ender creepers. Just as I was trying to get the drop on them, a familiar face snuck up on me. It was the mutant Hoglin.
Don't overwork yourself, bro. I'll handle these clowns. Slip inside while they're distracted.
Thanks, Mutant Hoglin. Now I could sneak into the base undetected. This was it! On day 100, I reached the top of the enemy's base and came face to face once again with the Endergast. He had been expecting me, but he wasn't too pleased that I'd made it this far.
You again? You really don't give up. Well, since you survived up to day 100, maybe I could find use for you. After all, you did just take down my last top henchman.
No chance. I'm here to put an end to this game once and for all.
Let's see about that, shall we? There's only one way this game ends. My way!
And before any more words could be exchanged, the battle began! I had to use all my strength and experience to take on the Endergast. I thought quick on my feet of a way to destroy him. I tried a few times, hitting the Endergast in the head with my fireballs and dealing some damage, but it had also angered him a lot. He let out a spew of fireballs, and I had to quickly get the heck out of the way. He flew down to get closer to me, and that made him vulnerable. Moving quickly, I used my claw attacks, then showed up with my mystical diamond sword. Then, as he fired his last fireball at me, I deflected it and sent it back his way, finishing him off for good measure. It worked! I had finished it! The Endergast was defeated, and his ruthless hunt was over. I had survived the whole 100 days. On day 1, I spawned into the seasonal forest as a rad poison dinosaur. Whoa, I'm awesome and deadly. Nobody is gonna mess with me, even though I've only got 10 hearts. But that turned out to be totally wrong, because as quick as a flash, an intimidating axe-wielding pillager appeared right behind me. He didn't look intimidated by me at all.
Howdy. Haven't seen you around these parts before, kid.
Hey, I'm Zozo. It's nice to meet ya.
Wish I could say the same. Name's Pillager Pete. The meanest, nastiest son of a gun you'll find around here. I'm gonna give you 3 seconds to run, and then I'm gonna destroy you.
But why? I don't even know you.
3, 2, 1.
He didn't hesitate for a second. Pillager Pete attacked, and all I could do was run for the hills. I didn't even have weapons. There was no way I could fight him. But as I ran away, I heard Pillager Pete yell.
Get 'em, boys!
That's when a gang of Vindicators jumped out of the trees and started chasing me. It seemed like this Pillager Pete guy had a whole team working for him. But why were they after me? In the end, I managed to outrun them and hid behind a clutch of trees until they stopped looking. I need to figure out what's going on here, or my poison goose is cooked. On day 2, I felt relieved, having narrowly escaped the scary Pillager Pete and those lethal gangs of Vindicators. But I couldn't afford to worry too much about it. Instead, I needed to get myself a snack, or my hunger bar was going to start eating itself. Lucky for me, I was able to find some apples that sated my hunger. Do dinosaurs eat apples? Who knows? I'm not a paleontologist. That's the name for someone who studies dinosaurs, by the way. But before I could even let my dinner settle, one of the Vindicators popped out and prepared to attack me. Pillager Pete sends his regards, you poison little loser. With no weapons, I couldn't fight back. I just ran off and avoided him until he disappeared. Then, when the coast was clear, I decided it was a good time to start working on a shelter. I broke down a tree and made a wooden pickaxe. Then, I mined up some stone and used it to build some better tools. A stone pickaxe and a stone sword. And with my spare stone, I built myself a basic one-room base where I could rest for the night. I'll figure out how to defeat all those villains tomorrow. On day 3, I ventured out of the seasonal forest to the inhospitable cold of the Shattered Glacier. Yeesh, I wouldn't want to build a summer home around here. Still, there might at least be some cool loot for the taking. But thanks to my cruddy luck, instead of finding some awesome loot, I found a dangerous zombified piglin.
Hey, I'm the only weird, nasty creature that's allowed in these parts. You're cramping my style. And if you cramp my style, I'll crush you!
He attacked me viciously, causing me to run away. There was no way I could survive a fight with him at my low level of experience. Why is everyone so aggro here? I don't get it. Why is it so hard to make friends? But I may have gotten lucky in the end, because I happened upon a friendly weaponsmith wandering the glacier.
Well, hello there, me good lad. I'm Wally. Wally the Weaponsmith. As the name suggests, I like making weapons. What are you doing out here?
Oh, just exploring. I need to find some cool gear to fight off that nasty Pillager Pete guy.
Wait, you said Pillager Pete? Oh, sonny, now that's a whole can of worms.
You know about Pillager Pete?
I've known him for years.
Then you better come with me. I need all the help I can get. From day 4 to day 5, I returned to the base with Wally the Weaponsmith. He seemed like a really useful guy to keep around. What kind of room would you like, Wally?
I'm easy, me lad. As long as I've got somewhere warm with a roof over my head, I'll be happy.
I worked on mining some stone and andesite and started putting together a new room with a bed for Wally the Weaponsmith to stay. When I was done making it, he decided to go and relax inside the room and make himself at home. But I wasn't able to relax just yet. A Vindicator assassin suddenly popped out of the trees and fired a blow dart at me.
Hey, how come that didn't work?
I'm a poison dinosaur, man. You can't use poison darts on me.
Oh well, I'll destroy you with a sword then.
Not if I destroy you first! We both drew weapons, and I battled bravely, until, in the end, the Vindicator assassin was defeated! And even better, I got to pick up his blowgun and the darts! I bet this will be even more lethal in the hands of a poison dinosaur like me! From day 6 to day 8, I went out further into the seasonal forest to gather up some more resources, namely, sheep! Wool can be used for so many things after all! I found a gang of sheep and was able to shepherd them back to my base, where I built a basic pen to keep them in. But when I went back out to the seasonal forest to gather even more sheep, I found something I didn't want to find. Or rather, that something found me!
Long time no see, Zozo.
It was Pillager Pete, and he was back with a deadly new surprise for me!
Throwing axes, freshly sharpened for that killer edge. Figured you might be able to help me with some target practice. I'll throw, and you play the target.
Before I had a chance to think up a poisonously clever comeback, he tossed an axe right at me, and I was forced to run for my life. He just followed me, laughing, throwing axe after axe. When one hit me, I lost almost all of my hearts. I needed to get out of here.
Running away already, Zozo? The fun's just getting started for me.
I knew I wasn't strong enough to beat him yet. Instead, I hid behind a tree and dug a hole into the ground, which I hid inside while Pillager Pete ran past me. I stayed in that hole for the rest of the day, wanting to make sure he was gone before I climbed back out and went back to my base. Jeez, what a day! From day 9 to day 10, I woke up to the weaponsmith, brimming with excitement. He had some awesome things to show me.
Zozo, me boy, I wanted to thank you for giving me a place to stay in these difficult times. For starters, I made you a statue. It's a bit of a work in progress, but I think when it's done, it's gonna be amazing.
Wow, thank you, Wally. I can't wait to see it. I followed him outside and saw the start of a statue that Wally had been building. It was an astounding sight to see. I couldn't tell you what it was yet, but I knew it was going to be amazing. How about you, viewer? What do you think it's gonna be? Let me know in the comments. I can't wait to see if you get it right. But it wasn't just the statue. Wally had some other good news too.
Oi! Take a look around the base, Zozo. I made a training area for you to work in, and I plan to create a lot of weapons for you too. And I made a furnace to make it easier for me to forge for you. I also made a storage room to keep the weapons and resources.
Wow, Wally, that's amazing! Let's build a campfire tomorrow night to celebrate. From day 11 to day 12, I stood by a campfire outside my base as the evening turned to dusk, hanging out with Wally the weaponsmith. Wally, you told me you knew something about Pillager Pete. I think now is a pretty good time for you to share that information, bud.
Huh, you've got me there, lad. I suppose now is the right time to tell you. I was worried if I told you before, you'd be discouraged.
Tell me. I believe I can take it.
I used to be a bounty hunter. He got so good at it. In fact, he hired a loathsome gang of Vindicators to join him on his quests. But they got bored doing jobs for people. They'd take out their targets, they'd take out the people who hired them, and they'd take out anyone who they saw along the way. These days, they mostly just go after people for the challenge. They enjoy it.
And I guess he thinks that the mighty poison dinosaur is a good challenge?
Aye, lad. He'll hunt you down if it's the last thing he does. So you gotta make sure it is the last thing he does.
So no pressure then.
That's why I didn't tell you before.
From day 13 to day 15, finally knowing just how dangerous my opponent was, I decided that I needed to settle some old scores and prove my worth. That's why I was making my way through the Shattered Glacier once again, ready to take on one of my earliest and deadliest enemies, the zombified piglin. I approached with my stone sword at the ready. It was time to finish this.
Oink, oink! Ready to get your poison butt kicked, Dino?
It's Zozo! But yes, I guess I am also a dino. It's confusing, but don't worry about it. Let's just fight! And so, we did! The zombified piglin and I duked it out, and I gave it my all, until in the end, my power and my poison were too much for him! The zombified piglin was defeated, and I had enough XP to level up, getting bigger, stronger, faster, and now having 30 whole hearts! But wait, I can feel my power growing! What is this? Boom! I fired a powerful poison blast! Oh yeah! I have a feeling that this new power is gonna be useful! From day 16 to day 19, I descended into the mining cavern I'd worked so hard to find. I'd never been so grateful to be in a deep, dark hole. Okay, iron, 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 where are you? I kept searching until I found a rich vein of iron ore and used my pickaxe to dig the ore out. I collected as much of it as I could and then prepared to leave the cavern. Wait, what's that weird noise? Suddenly, an arrow hit me, and I saw a bunch of skeletons walking towards me. Most would have been scared, but not me. I was just excited to try out my new Poison Blast ability. Time to see how my poison affects bones. I unleashed a few poison blasts, and the skeletons immediately started dying. I'd never felt so powerful. Pillager Pete is gonna be in real trouble next time we see each other. I gathered the rest of the iron and returned back. With the Skelly Boys defeated, I went back to my base and gave the iron ore over to the weaponsmith.
Great work, lad! I've tempered you some fine weapons with the furnace. Take this iron sword and iron pickaxe and use them to make yourself even stronger.
Thanks, Weaponsmith Wally. I can't wait. From day 20 to day 22, I woke up to the weaponsmith panicking in my bedroom. Wally, why'd you come in here? Can't you see I'm trying to get my poison dinosaur beauty sleep?
No time, lad. The pillager, he's here, and he looks like he's ready to battle. You need to be ready. He's gonna destroy us all.
Jeez, this is one heck of a wake-up call, Wally. I yanked myself out of my bed and ran out to meet Pillager Pete at the door. He looked every bit as well-trained and lethal as before.
Well, well, well. If it ain't the toxic twerp, I'll need to teach a thing or two.
I'm learning on my own, Pillager, and everything I've learned is going to make me even stronger than you.
I love your confidence, kid. It's more fun to destroy someone when they think they're gonna win.
Without warning, the pillager threw an axe at me, wounding me, but I couldn't afford to back down. I started attacking Wally with my iron sword, striking again and again, slowly wearing him down. In the end, I hit him with a poison blast, and that stopped him in his tracks.
You dirty little snake. You're always gonna rely on your poison to win, aren't you? You little coward. You're not worth my time.
I'll see you next time, Pete. And when I do, only one of us will remain. Pillager Pete disappeared in a puff of smoke, and I was left feeling the thrill of battle and the belief that I truly had it in me to defeat that diabolical pillager. From day 23 to day 26, I decided to craft a brand new weapon for myself, the Poison Sprayer. This would allow me to concentrate my most powerful poisons into an area of effect spray attack. This weapon will no doubt serve me well when Pillager Pete comes knocking. I'll show him who uses poison to win fights, nobody else but me. And if you want to show your friends more of my most epic battles, remember to search Zozo so you can find more videos. From day 27 to day 31, I went to check on Wally the Weaponsmith and see how his work on the statue was progressing. How goes it, Wally?
Hi there, Zozo. The statue has a new section complete, thanks to my craftsmanship. Wanna come see it?
Sure, if you insist. The statue was now of an impressive size, and I still couldn't see what it would become.
For the next part, I need some more framed glass. That could be tricky to come by in the large quantities I need, even for a weaponsmith like me. But I did hear of an abandoned mine in the Sierra Valley, which might have a vein of it.
Say no more. I'm off to collect this special glass so you can make more progress on this glorious statue. I gathered my weapons and departed from the base to begin my quest for the stacks upon stacks of glass needed. Before long, I was deep in the Sierra Valley. The area was crawling with vindicators who somehow must have known I'd be searching for resources in the area. Didn't take long for some to spot me and run in.
You made a big mistake, embarrassing Pillager Pete like that. He's gonna want us to destroy you slowly for what you've done.
And you made an even bigger mistake telling me that. The poison sprayer should keep you creeps at bay. And it did. I defeated multiple vindicators using the poison sprayer, then used my poison blast on another couple and finished them all. From day 32 to day 35, I ventured farther into the Sierra Valley and encountered another vicious vindicator.
You can't scare me away, Zozo. I'm braver than my buddies.
Rather than facing it head on, I used a poison dart for my blowgun and then switched to the poison sprayer to inflict the poison status. The poison damage gradually weakened him, especially when I also used the poison blast. The combination of all this was able to finish him off quickly. This valley is more dangerous than I thought. For Vindicators? Oh yeah, I'm the most dangerous thing here. That's when I saw a wandering trader traveling through the area. Traders are known for having all sorts of rare items, so immediately I started to think that I should do business with the guy. I'll bet he even has the framed glass I need for the statue. I approached the trader and asked if I could purchase any of his wares, especially if his inventory happened to include framed glass.
I do have some of those, but I won't just give them away for free.
Okay already, name your price.
I need you to rescue my librarian, who has been kidnapped by the Enderman. I have a couple overdue library books in my inventory, and if the librarian is gone, I'll never be able to return them.
That's it? A rescue mission? Easy peasy poison greasy. I got this. From day 36 to day 39, I traveled to the base of the Enderman, who kidnapped the local librarian. The fate of 1,000 library cards hangs in the balance. I may be the toughest poison dinosaur around, but even I support access to good reading. I looked in through one of the windows of the base and saw a cage with the librarian held captive inside. The Enderman was pacing around the room, looking all kinds of sinister.
Please let me go. Running a well-stocked library is a service to the community, and I can't do it if I'm trapped in here.
That's exactly the point. Without you taking care of the library, I'll be able to keep my overdue library books forever.
You fiend! Other people might want to read those books.
Then they can pry them from my pitch-dark, freakishly long arms.
This Enderman is seriously evil, but it was a good thing that he wasn't very careful. I could see the key to the librarian's cage on the wall. I can't use an area of effect weapon like the poison sprayer because I might poison the librarian, so I'll use a bunch of blow darts on the Enderman first, then use my iron sword to end the fight up close and personal. I prepared some poison darts for the first step of my plan and proceeded to enter the structure. From day 40 to day 43, I snuck up on the Enderman and surprised him with a couple poison sprays.
Who in the heck are you?
Just a poison dinosaur who is here to rescue the librarian. Nothing personal.
It's about to be personal, because I'd rather fight to the bitter end than return any of my library books.
You have some strange priorities, Enderman. But by all means, keep talking about them, so my poison has more time to damage you.
You lousy, I'm going to make you extinct.
The Enderman charged in swinging, but I knew the poison was taking its toll, so I pulled out my iron sword and started swinging right back. We fought in melee, and I quickly gained the upper hand. With a few daring slashes, I overwhelmed the Enderman and finished what the poison started. Bye-bye, Enderman. I guess it was your end you should have been worried about. The fallen Enderman dropped the key, which I used to unlock the librarian's cage.
Thank you for saving me.
I returned to the wandering merchant and told him what I did. He then provided me with the material for the statue. Side quest taken care of. Oh yeah! From day 44 to day 49, I returned to my base with the framed glass that Wally the weaponsmith would need to continue work on the statue. Here you go, Wally. Don't say I never do anything around here.
Why not? I like the statue building to me. Thanks for doing the tough part.
Trust me, Wally, I'm capable of a whole lot of things. And to prove what I said, I used some of my extra stone, wood, and iron to construct a perimeter wall around the entire base. The base had gotten to be quite large, so it took a while, but the wall was a lot of fun to build and would make a great defensive barrier too. Man, I worked up a real poisonous sweat getting this wall built. Now that it's done, I'd better go see if Wally has made any progress on the statue in the meantime. Back to the area where the statue was being constructed and saw that it was much closer to be completed than last time. That framed glass that I had collected really shined in the proper place.
Zozo, you're staring at the statue again? It's not gonna be finished today, you know.
I know, Wally. I'm just taking a break to admire it. From day 50 to day 53, the perimeter wall I just built around the base was attacked by a gang of Vindicators, and as usual, Pillager Pete was the one sending them.
Tear down that wall! We've got ourselves a catch to bring in.
I was sure they were talking about me, so I drew my blowgun and started to fire poison darts at them from the wall. Here I am. Did you miss me? Because my darts won't miss you. A few of the Vindicators were poisoned by my attack and climbed up the broken wall to fight me more directly. I drew my iron sword and slashed them down. Then I heard Wally crying out in the distance.
Hey, unhand me. I'm not going anywhere with you by choice.
Oh no, I was wrong. Wally was actually the target they were after this time. The Vindicators had surrounded him, and by the time I got over there, he'd already been kidnapped and taken away.
I order half of you to stay behind and see if you can get that poison dinosaur. He's the real prize.
As Pete escaped, the others tried to take me on, so I switched to my poison sprayer and hit them with all of my strongest poisons. Can't catch me, and I'll get Wally back after I whoop all of you with my poison powers. With some poison blasts, I wiped out the remaining Vindicators one by one. The experience of defeating them caused me to level up, obtaining 50 hearts and some radical poison claw attacks. From day 54 to day 57, I repaired my base and built it back better than ever, leveling up the architecture to the standards of my new, bigger, powered-up self. I'm here on my own now without Wally, but I won't be lonely for long. That guy is too handy of a weaponsmith to let him stay captured. I just need some help from one of my other friends. I went to the Sierra Valley where the wandering trader liked to hang out, and as expected, he was there.
Well, if it isn't my favorite customer, what can I do for you today?
Pillager Pete and his force of former bounty hunters took my weaponsmith. I'm looking for any information you might have about where their base is.
Oh, I've got information. A trader keeps track of all sorts of business. Those bounty hunters operate in the far north, where they keep a prison for the most hard-to-catch targets. Back in the day, they would turn them in for money. But now the prison is more like a living trophy cabinet, a place where the creatures they capture are forced to stay forever.
This has to be where they've taken Wally. You said this prison was in the north, but north is a pretty general direction. Where in the north is it?
It's so far north that you'll enter the snowy tundra biome before you find it. Search around in the reaches of that place, and it won't be too much farther.
Well, that's exactly what I needed to know. Thanks, wandering trader.
Wait, aren't you gonna trade me something?
You never named your price. Better luck next time. From day 58 to day 62, I was digging in the mines for diamonds so that I could soup up my gear for the journey north. Iron rusts, but diamonds are forever. In the depths of the cavern, I ran into a few ghasts that weren't too happy to see a poisoned dinosaur making moves in their territory. Too bad for them that my poison claws were so strong that I could take each one down in a single blow. Guess that's the ghast we'll see of those guys. With those nuisances out of the way, I was free to keep mining until I struck diamond. I grabbed all that I could carry and brought it to the crafting table where I fashioned some brand new diamond gear. First, a diamond pickaxe, and then a diamond sword. The journey north will be much less treacherous with these. From day 63 to day 66, I took a moment to observe the half-complete statue that Wally the Weaponsmith hadn't yet completed. If he were here, Wally would probably be working on this right now. I need to get him back so he can complete it. Also, under my tough and cool exterior, I really did miss my friend and hoped that I would be able to find him and save him from Pillager Pete. And if you hope to find more of my videos, you should subscribe to the channel so that all my new uploads will appear right there on your YouTube feed. From day 67 to day 70, I had been traveling for a while before I reached the snowy tundra. This is it, the far north. I made it. Nothing is going to keep me from saving Wally. I could see the old bounty hunter prison standing tall among the slopes. It was guarded by a patrol of Vindicators, but I wouldn't let them stop me from breaking in. I fired my poison darts at the Vindicators to draw their attention towards me, inflicting the poison status condition in the process.
Ah, the poison dinosaurs come all the way to the far north. Let's send them packing.
I don't think so. I'm here to check in and save my friend. I drew my diamond sword and hacked and slashed straight through all the approaching Vindicators. The way forward was now totally clear for me to enter into the prison and find Wally the Weaponsmith. From day 71 to day 74, I was traversing the many treacherous floors of the bounty hunter prison. I was searching for Wally, but I couldn't see any sign of him. All of the prison cells I did see were empty, and on one of them, the bars were broken off. I wonder who was in there.
The same menace who is now out here.
I turned around to see a zombified piglin running towards me down the hallway.
I was captured by Pillager Pete, but now I enjoy living at this prison because I get to eat all the other prisoners.
You eat the prisoners? That's nasty! But you didn't need a weaponsmith, did you?
No. Why? Do you know one?
You know what? Forget I mentioned it. Also, take this! I poison blasted the zombified piglin. He aggressively responded with brutal melee attacks. Instead of using my diamond sword, I used my poison claws to give the zombified piglin a poison status effect and deal enough regular damage to take him out. He dropped a map that revealed the location of Wally's cell. On my way down to it, I discovered a treasure chest, which I opened. Inside was a full set of diamond armor, most likely confiscated from a former prisoner. I equipped the armor and kept on moving. From day 75 to day 78, I reached the prison cell where Wally was being held. Wally, you look like you've had better days.
Zozo, never expected to see you again, but here you are to bust me out of the prison.
Wally, listen, I realized something while I was on my journey to the far north. Even though people like Pillager Pete have made life difficult for me, I haven't given up on making friends. I might be strong now, but it takes real strength to let your guard down around other people.
That's a really mature thing for you to say, Zozo. I appreciate it. Now let's get out of here.
I mined through the bars of the prison cell with my diamond pickaxe, and the two of us went in search of the exit. Unfortunately, we were intercepted along the way by Pillager Pete.
What's this? Are we gonna start a new hunt? I'm looking forward to the challenge.
Not as much as I am, Pete. I'm going to defeat you. I waved Wally on and confronted Pillager Pete myself. I'd catch up with my best friend later. For now, it was payback time. I attacked with my poison claws while Pillager Pete struck with his weapon. Both of us were losing health fast, but if I could poison him, I'd be able to swing the battle in my favor, which did the trick. Ha! You're poisoned! This is my win, Pete.
That's what you think.
From day 79 to day 84, Pillager Pete absorbed my poison and proceeded to grow larger and much stronger.
I warned you against using poison. If you introduce a sneaky tactic to the game, then it's gonna be used against you. I'll poison Pete now. Infinitely more toxic than my original form. Your status effects won't be able to bring me down now.
Wait, that means you're immune to poison?
That's right. I had to adapt to all kinds of strange targets during my bounty hunter days, and you've been on my list long enough for me to become your worst nightmare. Go ahead and run. I'll give you a head start because it's more fun that way.
I ran away from the prison and down the snowy tundra, knowing that I couldn't beat him in my current state. I may have rescued Wally, but the poisonous Pillager Pete was still coming for me, and I needed a new plan. From day 85 to day 89, I safely returned to base after traveling for who knows how long. It seemed that Pete's head start was still in effect, so I went to Wally for some advice on how to arm myself against the former bounty hunter's new poison-immune form.
Sounds like what you need is a weapon enchantment for your diamond sword. I've got you covered with this fire aspect enchantment that should enhance the damage you deal to him. I'll keep thinking while I complete my work on the statue. For now, you should use the enchantment.
Thanks, Wally. I'll keep on thinking about how to win as well. This works better if we both put our heads together. I went to the anvil and applied the fire aspect enchantment to my diamond sword. Now I could inflict a burn on Pillager Pete. But I knew that alone wouldn't be enough to beat him, so I decided to go back to Wally and see if he had more ideas. I made my way back to the statue area to find it complete. An incredible statue of a poison flask. I'm more than just my poison. But putting it on display and acknowledging it really reminded me of how far I'd come in my poison dinosaur journey.
Zozo, I came up with another idea. You should head back to the Sierra Valley and find the potion of power that the Enderman once hoarded to himself.
You're full of great ideas, Wally. That's one of the many reasons we're friends. From day 90 to day 94, I set out for the Enderman's base and found out the Vindicators were there already. They must be looking for the potion of power.
Split up and search the place. The Enderman may have outwitted us long ago, but we can still reclaim his stuff now for the boss, including the potion of power.
I knew it! The Vindicators all noticed me and began to attack. But unlike their boss, these guys weren't immune to my poison. I hit them with poison blasts, poison darts, and my poison sprayer until all of them were taken out. I searched through the base until I found a chest containing the fabled potion of power. I better save this for a key moment. With my enchanted sword and the potion of power in my inventory, there was only one more kind of gear I needed in order to have my showdown with Pete. Luckily, I knew exactly the man who could get me special items. From day 95 to day 97, I invited the wandering trader to my base and gave him a bunch of spare materials in exchange for the best suit of armor that he had in his inventory.
Here you go, Zozo. A full set of custom netherite armor, perfectly sized for a poison dinosaur.
Excellent! I'm going to try it on! I equipped the netherite armor, and now I had all the right stuff I needed to be a match for Pillager Pete in his positively perilous Poison Pete form. I'm going to put Pete in his place.
Good luck out there, Zozo. You'll always be my favorite customer.
On day 98, I kept all of my best gear close by as I remembered all the tough times I went through to get here. I learned so many new ways to use my poisonous power, but I also built things and made friends. Life can be really fun, even if there's a lot of difficult moments in it. And some of the most fun that we can have together is on many more adventures through the overworld. After this, search for more Zozo videos so that you can keep on having fun, and remember to leave a comment about what you want to see next. On day 99, I went back to the snowy tundra to give Pillager Pete the fight of his life. I was decked out in my netherite armor, holding my diamond sword enchanted with the fire aspect, and ready to drink the potion of power when the fight began. I'm here, Pete. Let's end this little game. Pillager Pete stepped out in his adapted form, looking as vicious as ever.
You didn't want to run anymore? Instead, you came straight to me. I'll mess you up so bad, you'll wish you did run away.
That's the thing, Pete. I'll never wish I ran away from this fight, because I'm not going to live my life in fear of bad people. I'm going to beat you and live the rest of it with the good people I chose to call my friends.
Don't you see? There's always some new enemy out there, some new challenges to overcome. Living an easy life? That's nothing to aspire to.
It's everything to aspire to, and whatever comes my way, I'll keep fighting for that easy life, by any means necessary. He charged forward and hit me, but my netherite armor reduced the damage of his hits enough that I could strike back on equal footing. I swung my fire aspect sword and dealt a lot of damage, both regular and fire. We kept on trading blows, with my powerful form and gear keeping me in the fight. Pillager Pete had hunted me across the overworld for a long time, but today, he didn't stand a chance. With my poison fireball, I destroyed him so he would never hunt down anyone again. On day 100, I was living the easy life I had dreamed of back at the base with the others. The trouble with Pillager Pete was done, and for now, I could keep poison to myself. Wally decided to share some words of wisdom with me since today was our first real day of freedom.
Sometimes the best weapon we have when the going gets tough is a good attitude.
I couldn't agree more, buddy. There we were, friends together, united against a harsh and difficult world that was looking a little bit better every day. On day 1, I spawned into the Amaranth Fields as a golden gorilla. Now it looks like I'm a gorillionaire. Well, a baby gorillionaire anyway. But I bet with my hard work, I can get bigger, stronger, and even shinier. My golden gorilla voice was a little too loud though, because it attracted the attention of someone who wasn't so nice. A strange green man in a crown emerged.
Wee-hee-hee! 'Tis me, the great and glorious Goblin King! All will bow to my excellence!
Oh, hi, Goblin King. Your Highness, I'm Zozo, the golden gorilla.
No! This simply won't do! You're too shiny! Nobody should be shinier than my crown!
I can't help how shiny I am, Your Highness, and I promise that I didn't mean to offend you.
I don't care what you mean! I'm the Goblin King, and what I want, I get! And you're gonna be a lot less shiny once my fully sick boys have beaten you senseless and buried you beneath the earth!
Suddenly, some ogres emerged and started stomping towards me. All I could do was run for my life and get out of there, but I could still hear the Goblin King's shrill voice behind me.
You can run, but you can't hide! We'll never give up, Zozo! Never!
I kept running until I couldn't hear him anymore. Guess I'm gonna need to topple the Goblin King if I want to get any peace around here. On day 2, I started exploring more of the Amaranth Fields. It's pretty nice out here, but I guess looks can be deceiving if the Goblin King and his ogres are running around here, and I've only got 10 hearts. I'd better find something to eat, and fast! Luckily, I stumbled on an apple tree. I used all of my baby gorilla strength to shake the apples down from the tree and gobbled them up. That really hit the spot. I love apples.
Good choice for your last meal then. Get it? Because you're dead meat, shiny boy.
I turned around and saw the Goblin King's ogres charging toward me. Uh-oh, I don't think I'm ready for a fight, but I guess I don't have a choice. They attacked me, and I tried my best to fight back, but they were way too tough for me, and there were so many of them. It's only my second day. It can't already be over for me. No!
Hang on, little gorilla. I've got this.
A gobber jumped into the fray, fighting off the ogres long enough for me to get away from them.
Follow me. Let's get you out of here before more of these jokers show up. By the way, my name's Greg.
I'm Zozo. On day 3, I followed the friendly gobber to his campfire. Thank you for saving me.
Don't sweat it, kid. Any enemy of the Goblin King is a friend of mine.
He hates me just because I'm shiny and golden.
Don't take it personally. That attention hog can't stand it if anyone else is special. That's why so many of us are trying to overthrow him. Everyone deserves to shine, not just that so-called king. Here, I got someone you should meet.
The gobbler introduced me to a goblo sitting near the fire. I told the goblo that I was the Goblin King's latest target.
Tough luck, Zozo. Sorry to hear that. But you're in the right place if you want to end the Goblin King's regime. We've been working on it for quite some time, and I get the feeling you'll be a great help. You'll need to get a lot stronger first, though. Think you can do that?
Yes, I do.
That's what I like to hear. First things first, you're gonna need a base. Get to work building one. I'll send Greg along to help you out.
Thank you so much.
Don't ever let them dull your shine, Zozo.
From day 4 to day 5, I got to work building a base. Before I can build anything, I'll need some wood and some tools. I gathered enough wood to craft a wooden pickaxe, then used that pickaxe to gather some stone. Now I can use this to make a full set of tools. I'd better hurry up so I can build my base before it gets dark. I crafted a set of stone tools, and then it was finally time to build my base. A room for me and a room for Greg. There, looks pretty good. It's small, but I'll have time to build more later. Greg, come check out our new home.
Sweet digs, kid. I like it. Great place to hang my hat for a little while.
But you're not wearing a hat.
Well, if I get a hat, I'll have a place to hang it. Hey, kid, look out behind you.
I turned around and was jumped by a garch. This time, though, I had a sword to defend myself. I fought back and managed to defeat the nasty creature. Hey, I did it! Oh, I feel kind of funny. Suddenly, I grew bigger, and I felt my heart's increase to 30. Awesome! I yelled with excitement, and a blast of fire came out of my mouth.
Careful with that fire breath, buddy. Don't burn the house down.
Sorry. From day 6 to day 8, I took my new set of tools, improved strength, and super cool fire breath, and went out exploring. I traveled to the jungle, where I spotted a poor, innocent little Kato being attacked by a Shadowneer. Hey, cut that out! The Shadowneer didn't listen, so I had to make him listen with a blast of fire breath. He got pretty angry about being burned, but I had my sword ready to go, and we battled it out. The Shadowneer was tough, but I was tougher, and I managed to win the fight. You're safe now, little Kato.
Thank you. I've never met a hero like you before, but I'm afraid I'm still not safe. I was trying to run away from a bigger, badder monster when that Shadowneer attacked me. See, my house was invaded by a reaver. He kicked me out and said if I tried to come back, he'd kill me. Could you help me get my home back?
That's terrible. Of course I'll help. From day 9 to day 10, I followed the little Kato to his house, and sure enough, there was a huge, scary-looking reaver standing guard outside.
Hey, I told you to clear out of here. Maybe you didn't learn your lesson last time. Do I need to tell you again with more pain?
The only one who's gonna get hurt around here is you!
What? You're here to fight me? Ha! You're tiny, like a little gold statue of a gorilla. You don't scare me.
Well, maybe this will! I opened my mouth and shot a blast of fire breath at the reaver, but he didn't even flinch.
Oh, thanks. I was getting kinda chilly. Now it's my turn.
Uh-oh! He launched himself at me, knocking me back. He was way too strong. I don't think I'm ready for this fight. I'm so sorry, little Kato. We've got to run. But I promise I'll come back and finish the job once I'm strong enough. I ran away as fast as I could, the little Kato right by my side. Until we get your house back, you can come stay at my base with me. From day 11 to day 12, I escorted the little Kato back to my base. I'll need to build another room, so he has somewhere to sleep. I got to work, and before long, I had added on a room for my new guest. Here you go. I hope you're comfortable here.
Thank you so much! I wanted to give you something in return for letting me stay here, but I didn't have anything with me, so I hope you don't mind, but I added something to your base. Come take a look!
He showed me a brand new storage hut.
I figured you could keep things in here. Weapons, I guess, or whatever you want.
It's great! Thank you! Now you get some rest. I've got more work to do.
Wait, before I do, are you the golden gorilla that the Goblin King is trying to get rid of?
I sure am.
Oh, I'm so sick of that Goblin King. He wasn't always in charge, you know. He came here a little while ago with an army of ogres and scared everyone into listening to him. No one even knows where he came from or if he's a real king at all.
No wonder he's so worried about being outshined. Thanks for the info, little Kato.
My name is Lyle, just by the way.
I'm Zozo. Nice to meet you. Lyle went off to take a nap, and I headed into a nearby cavern to do some mining. I gathered some iron ore, perfect for upgrading my gear. I used a furnace to smelt the ore into iron ingots and crafted an iron pickaxe and an iron sword. I still feel like the base is missing something. As I was brainstorming, I spotted a herd of sheep grazing nearby. Hey, sheep! Why don't you come live with me? I built them a sheep farm to live in and herded them inside. Not too bad, if I do say so myself. From day 13 to day 15, I was trying to come up with ideas on how to grow stronger. I decided to talk to Greg and get some advice. Hey Greg, I'm running out of time to get strong enough to defeat the Goblin King. What can I do?
Well, kid, when I want to get stronger, I get out of my comfort zone. Try going somewhere new, maybe fighting some new enemies. You'll never grow just staying in the same place all the time.
Great idea! I'll go back to the jungle. That was a pretty intense place. I traveled back to the jungle and started exploring the unfamiliar terrain. While I was walking, I spotted some familiar faces. The ogres! They were too strong for me before, but I think I'm ready to try again. Hey, remember me?
Hey, look! It's the Golden Gorilla! Let's get him, boys!
I opened my mouth and shot fire breath at them, engulfing them in flames.
Ouch! Where'd you learn to do that?
I didn't answer their question. I just drew my iron sword and attacked again. This time, they were the ones who weren't prepared. And one by one, I defeated them all. I did it! I did it! Hey, what's this? There was a health potion on the ground. They must have dropped this. Well, finders keepers. I drank the health potion, and right away, my hearts increased to 60. Woohoo! I was doing a victory dance when I accidentally shot a fireball. Hey, that's new. I'm on fire here. From day 16 to day 19, I followed Greg's advice and kept exploring. My journey took me all the way to the desert. It sure is hot out here. I wish I had a nice shady tree to sit under. Oh, and some coconuts. But instead of coconuts, I found a book. The Book of Information. Information about what? I guess I'll see. It says the Goblin King was once a lonely little goblin underling, the lowest of the low. One day, he had enough of being bossed around. He snuck up on the leader of his kingdom, destroyed him with a sneak attack, and stole his crown. Now, he lives in fear of being seen as the fraud that he is, and having someone take his place. Wow, I'd feel bad for him if he wasn't trying to kill me.
Get that gorilla!
I was suddenly ambushed by more of the Goblin King's ogres. But with my new fireball attack, they didn't stand a chance. I burnt them all to a crisp and vanquished them. Hey, I'm getting pretty good at this whole fighting thing. From day 20 to day 22, I traveled back home to my base. Time to go back into the mines and see if I can upgrade my gear some more. I entered the mine and quickly found some iron ore. After I smelted it into ingots, I was able to craft an iron chest plate. With my new attack, my new strength, and this armor, I think I can finally fight that Reaver. So I traveled back to Lyle's house, where that nasty Reaver was still stomping around like he owned the place.
Back for more. Can't get enough of the taste of defeat.
You can't just take people's houses. I'm going to show you what happens when you do. I hit him with a fireball, and this time it worked. It knocked him back. While he was recovering, I got my sword and rushed at the Reaver, swinging my blade as hard as I could. He attacked me, but I came back at him even harder. A couple of hits later, he was down.
Whee! Well, look at that! You're getting stronger, I see.
It was the Goblin King. He was watching me from behind a nearby tree.
I'll have to send stronger minions to get rid of you, it seems. No matter. I will. I always get what I want, you know.
Only because you sneak up on people. You'll never win in a fair fight.
Well, we'll have to sort out that, won't we? I have grand plans for your demise, Zozo. Such grand plans. Whee!
And with that, he disappeared. From day 23 to day 26, I ran back to my base as fast as I could. My encounter with the Goblin King had shaken me up a little bit, but I was still excited to give Lyle the good news about his house. Lyle! Guess what? The Reaver is finally gone!
Really? That's amazing, but...
Oh no, what is it?
It's just, I've been having so much fun staying here with you guys. Do you think I could keep living here instead?
Sure, stay as long as you want. With that settled, I ventured back into the mines to look for some more iron ore. After I found enough, I smelted it into ingots and crafted a new iron helmet and a pair of shiny iron boots. While I was trying on my new armor, Lyle came to see me.
Hey, Zozo. As a thanks for everything, I built a perimeter wall around the base to help keep us safe. So nothing like the Reaver attack ever happens here.
I went outside and checked it out. That's amazing. I feel safer already. From day 27 to day 31, I headed back out to the desert to continue exploring in the harsh climate. I was kicking around the sand, getting lost in my thoughts, when I saw something. A silver lobo sat under a palm tree.
Hey, you're the gold guy who beat up all those ogres.
I sure am.
Well, that was super neat of you. If you're still in a heroic mood, I could use some help. Any chance you have a place I could stay for a while? The Goblin King doesn't like how silver I am, and I'm scared he'll send more ogres after me.
He's doing the same thing to me for being gold. I'd be happy to help. Follow me back to my base. You can stay there. The silver lobo and I headed back to my base, and when we got there, I'd take a second to shear my sheep and gather some wool. Hey, this gives me an idea. I decided to hang some decorative banners on my base just to spice up the place. These really class up the place.
Sweet banners, kid, but sorry to interrupt. Goblo needs our help.
Who?
Goblo the Goblo. You met him when I saved you. Now it's your turn to help me save him. Quick, let's go.
From day 32 to day 35, Greg and I traveled back to the Goblo's campfire to see what was going on. When we got there, a whole horde of ogres was making a mess of the place. Goblo was way outnumbered. Goblo, we're here to help.
Oh, how sweet. Baby Gorilla thinks he can save his friend. Well, you're too late, loser.
I shot a fireball at them, destroying them in one hit. But when Greg and I rushed over to check on Goblo, he was already halfway gone.
Thank you for coming, boys, but I'm afraid they were too much for me. I don't have a lot of time left, Zozo. You can finish what I couldn't. Defeat the rest of the ogres.
I will. And just like that, Goblo was gone. From day 36 to day 39, I didn't want to go home after losing Goblo. I needed to get my mind off of things. So instead, I traveled to the jungle to look for some bad guys to fight or someone to help. I just need something useful to do.
Are you talking to me?
There was a Rouge Tomato suddenly staring at me. No, I was talking to myself.
Well, could you be talking to me? If you're trying to be useful, I need some help.
Sure, what's going on?
Well, I need help taking on a rattlesnake near here. He's really messing up the neighborhood, kicking everybody out. I need some muscle to get him to lay off.
You got it. It didn't take me long to find the rattlesnake. He was hissing and pacing back and forth, looking for trouble. Well, he found it, and trouble was me. I took him out with a few quick fireballs and a finishing move with my sword. Your rattlesnake problem is all taken care of.
Thanks, you're a swell guy. Not like that freak in the crown who came through here earlier.
The Goblin King?
Yeah, that's him. Said he's trying to recruit new goons to help him get rid of some gold monkey or something. Sounds like a bad scene. And seems like the kind of guy who doesn't ever fight his own fights, but still wants to act like a tough guy. If you're not a fighter, just admit it to yourself. That's what I did, and it worked out.
Yup, thanks for the info.
Yeah, forget about it.
From day 40 to day 43, I left the friendly, but kinda weird, Rouge Tomato behind and walked back to my base. When I got there, Greg was waiting for me, and he looked excited about something.
Hey, kid, I thought we could both use some cheering up. So I added some couches to the base for hanging out. And I was thinking, maybe we could invite some more friends to stay here with us.
Absolutely, the more the merrier.
Great, my other goblin friend should be here soon.
A little while later, Greg's friend arrived and settled in. Nice to meet ya. After a while, the silver lobo I helped out before came to find me.
You've already done so much for me, but could I ask for one more favor? I left my favorite book behind, and I can't go back and get it without being attacked by some really scary monsters. Could you go look for it for me?
I'll do my best to get your book back. We can put it on one of those shelves when I do. From day 44 to day 49, I trudged out to the desert to look for the Silver Lobo's book. I don't see any books, I just see a ton of sand. I don't like sand at all. It's so coarse and rough, and it gets everywhere. As I was digging through the sand looking for the book, the Goblin King ran up from behind me.
Whee! Tremble in fear! It's me!
I'm not scared of you.
Oh, but you should be! You think I'll only stop with your demise? No, silly Zozo! I'm going to get rid of everything shiny in this land! Every living thing that is silver! Gold, diamond that glitters and shimmers brightly. My crown will be the only shiny thing left, and then no one will doubt my authority as king!
Or you could try being a kind and just ruler?
Are you kidding me? That sounds terrible! Sorry, Zozo, but I have to run! Bear with me!
What?
Sorry, I misspoke! I have a bear with me! Enjoy fighting my bear! Bye!
The Goblin King ran off, and a massive, hulking grizzly bear ran in! From day 50 to day 53, I faced off against the Goblin King's mighty grizzly bear. The grizzly bear charged at me. I fought back with a fireball and jumped out of the way before he could scratch me with his claws. But the bear was tough, and he came at me again. This is my hardest fight yet. It was difficult, and the bear was much bigger and stronger than me, but I was better at dodging. And I had fire powers that most bears don't have. And all of that helped me win in the end. Phew! That was a close one. I'm glad I made it. Ooh, sparkly. The grizzly bear dropped a diamond on the ground during the fight. I should take it with me. I bet I'll need it later. From day 54 to day 57, I continued my search for the Silver Lobo's book. She said there were scary monsters involved, but I haven't seen anything but sand. And that bear, but that wasn't normal for this place, I'm pretty sure. Finally, I happened upon a specter. I don't think it's that scary, but I bet that's what she's talking about. Hey, did you take someone's book? The specter didn't answer me. It just started attacking. Well, I guess that's your answer. Fireball! I blasted the specter with a fireball, and I totally vaporized it. Sure enough, it dropped the book. What's this book about anyway? Seems like a lot of trouble for one little book. Oh, it says my diary on it. No wonder she wanted it back. I ran back to my base and delivered the book to the Silver Lobo.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're the nicest golden gorilla I've ever met. Not that I've met any others. There used to be more of you, I've heard. And other gold creatures. But the Goblin King has been getting rid of them ever since he took the throne. It's just terrible.
Well, I can't let him get away with it anymore. From day 58 to day 62, I expanded my sheep pen to make room for even more sheep. There, now you guys can spread out a bit more and have some room to roam. They didn't say anything back, but I think they were happy about it. Next, I returned to the mines. The diamond the bear dropped got me thinking. I want to craft some diamond gear. I gathered some diamonds and used them, along with the diamond the bear dropped, to craft a diamond pickaxe and a diamond sword. Now I'm even shinier than ever. Take that, Goblin King. When I climbed back out of the mines and went back to my base, Greg was waiting for me.
Welcome back, kid. Since we've got more folks staying with us now, I took the liberty of letting them invite even more friends over. Hopefully you don't mind.
Of course I don't mind. You know what I say, the more the merrier. From day 63 to day 66, I tried to decide where to go next. I need to keep getting stronger so I can stop the Goblin King from carrying out his evil plans. What should I do next?
Zozo, I just got a letter from my friend in the lush tundra. She said that there is some kind of dangerous creature out there making trouble, and it might be working for the Goblin King. If you play your cards right, you could get fighting experience and some information, all at the same time.
Wow, that's like getting two things with only one thing. Awesome! I traveled to the lush tundra, and a huge warped toad leapt into my path. Uh-oh, this must be the creature making trouble. I got my sword ready and was taking a deep breath to unleash some fire on the toad when she spoke.
Wait, no! I'm Alex, Lyle's friend. I'm the one who asked for your help. You're Zozo, right?
Oh, sorry, my mistake. So if you're not the one I'm here to fight, who is? From day 67 to day 70, Alex the warped toad led me to the danger she had told me about. A warped Moscow hovering menacingly above the ground.
There it is! Think you can help?
I sure do. Time to squash that bug.
Be careful! That's one mean Moscow!
I listened to Alex's warning, and I approached the warped Moscow slowly. But as soon as it saw me, it started buzzing aggressively and swooped at me. I had to dodge and counter with a fireball. The warped Moscow couldn't get away in time, and the fireball hit it, knocking it down. I took my chance to finish it off right then and there. I did it! Your Moscow troubles are over, Alex.
Thank you so much! Lyle wasn't kidding! You really are a hero!
I'm just trying my best. I only hope I'm going to be enough of a hero to take on the Goblin King. From day 71 to day 74, I decided to explore the lush tundra a bit more. I already came all the way out here, I might as well get a good look. As I was exploring, I spotted a sign that spelled out Z-O-Z. I didn't know what that means, but it's almost my name. That reminds me, if you want to see more Zozo videos, you can find them by searching Zozo. I arrived in a new part of the lush tundra and saw a chest there. Oh, I wonder what's inside. When I opened it, there was nothing in there. Oh, that's disappointing.
Wee! Sorry to see you so sad, Zozo! Just kidding! I love to see you sad! You'll never beat me!
I was so angry, I shot a fireball at the Goblin King, but he dodged it and attacked me. He was still way too strong for me to fight him and win. Just you wait, I'll get stronger, and then you'll know how it feels to lose. I didn't want to, but I had to get out of there. From day 75 to day 78, I ran all the way back to my base. When I finally got there, I was so mad that I locked myself in my room. I can't believe I had to run away like that. I'm such a loser. I heard someone outside of my room, and when I went to check, the Silver Loba was standing there.
Sorry to interrupt, but I wanted to show you something. I've been heading on to the base. Want to come look?
Okay, I followed her, and she led me to a new watchtower. You built this for me?
I wanted to cheer you up. It'll help keep us all a lot safer, in case the Goblin King tries anything sneaky.
That's so great, thank you. I feel better already.
I've also got something that might help, too.
Greg came over and handed me a novelty hat.
It's silly, but I told you a home is a good place to hang your hat. So, I got you a hat.
When I put the hat on, I felt a lot better and stronger too. Before I knew it, my hearts increased to 100. I jumped for joy, and I jumped way higher than usual. Whoa, a jump boost! Thank you so much! From day 79 to day 84, I ventured back out into the lush tundra to look for the Goblin King. Now that I'm stronger, I want to try and fight him again. I looked all over, but didn't see him anywhere. I did see some Black Death though. Close enough for now. Still an evil force I can test out my new strength on. I fought the Black Death and beat it easily. When I did, I was approached by a grateful rat.
Ooh, that was very impressive fighting. I couldn't help but notice your shiny diamond sword. Someone dropped this, and I picked it up to keep. But I think you should have it. Here!
The rat gave me diamond leggings. This is perfect. From day 85 to day 89, I took my new diamond leggings and traveled back home to my base. When I got there, I was shocked to see Ogre stamping all over the place, tearing it down. No, get out of here!
Oh no! Did you think we wouldn't find you? Smash, 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 smash the whole place to bits!
I shot a fireball at the ogres, and they ran off into the fields. Ah, no you don't. I chased after them as fast as I could. As I was pursuing the ogres, a rat jumped in front of me.
Quickly, could you tell me the way to the lush tundra? My cousin lives there.
I pointed him in the right direction.
Thanks, you're a pal.
With another good deed done, I continued my chase. From day 90 to day 94, I tracked the ogres all the way to a castle. This must be Goblin King's palace. I'd better not get too close. I'm sure he's got guards all over the place. I'll focus on these jokers for now. I decided to shoot a fireball at the guard at the castle entrance. That's what you get for messing with my home.
Ouch! Get a boss!
Is the Goblin King here?
No, he won't dirty his hands fighting you, little gorilla. That's my job.
A plague beast emerged and came running at me. He attacked me before I could do anything, and the blow knocked me back. Uh-oh, this guy is really strong. This won't be easy. From day 95 to day 97, I continued my battle against the plague beast. It was, by far, my most dangerous fight yet. I've got to make it through this. I can't let the Goblin King win.
He's already won, fool! There are only a handful of days left before his army will sweep the land, imprisoning any that dare to try to outshine the king!
No! I won't let that happen! I used my jump boost to jump out of the way of his next attack and blasted him with a fireball. Then I came at him with my diamond sword and finally turned the tide of the fight. I was going to win! For my final attack, I jumped high and hit him where he least expected it.
It seems I underestimated you. Perhaps you will win after all, if you can best the Goblin King himself in a one-on-one fight, that is.
I will, no matter what. I'm going to do whatever it takes to defeat the Goblin King once and for all. And just like that, the Plague Beast was defeated. On day 98, I returned to my base with a renewed sense of purpose. This golden gorilla is going to win! I just know it. I've come a long way, and I know I still have room to improve, but I feel like a real hero now. Brighter, stronger, and shinier than ever. First, the Silver Lobo spoke to me.
You are Zozo. Here, take this health potion for help on your quest. I believe in you. We all deserve to shine, and you shine brighter than anyone I've ever met.
That means a lot. Thank you. And then, Greg.
Hey kid, I'm proud of you. Don't leave without your hat, okay?
I would never. And finally, Lyle.
Remember, the Goblin King only wins fights by sneaking up on people. Don't let him sneak up on you, and you'll be able to defeat him.
Thank you for believing in me. I'll try my best. On day 99, I set off on my journey to the Goblin King's castle. I passed through the lush tundra on my way and remembered my success there. I was able to help so many people, and if I can pull this off, it'll help so many more. Finally, I reached the castle. It was crawling with ogre guards. I'll never get through all of them without the Goblin King finding out I'm here. If he does, he'll be able to sneak up on me. As I was trying to come up with a plan, Alex, the warped toad, jumped out of hiding and started attacking the ogres. Alex, you came to help me.
We toads believe in reciprocity. You helped me, I help you. Now get inside and finish this.
Alex led the ogres away, and I began to sneak into the castle. On day 100, I crept my way into the castle. That's where I saw the Goblin King looking at horses. I thought about attacking him, but I realized that would be wrong. I'm not like him. I want a fair fight. Hey, stop horsing around.
What? What's happening? Oh, wee Zozo, I see. You've come to my palace to turn yourself in?
No, I'm here to fight you. Fair and square. No tricks.
A Goblin King always has a few tricks up his sleeve.
Suddenly, he turned invisible, and I lost sight of him. Uh-oh, he's somewhere in here, trying to sneak up on me. I listened carefully, and when I heard him moving, I used my jump boost to jump out of the way of his ambush. Ha! Gotcha! I spotted him and launched a fireball at him. It hit!
Ow, ow, ow! No! You're not supposed to be so good at this! I'm supposed to win! I always win!
Not anymore! I attacked with my sword next. He fought back, but I was stronger than him. I had learned how to defeat the forces of evil, and after a difficult fight, I finally did! The Goblin King crown fell on the floor at my feet. If I were like you, I'd take this, but I don't want to be king. I just want to go home and hang out with my friends. I'm ending this reign of terror, here and now. And with one last fireball, I finished him off. It was finally over! I did it! Time to go home, hug my friends, and take a well-deserved nap. From now on, things are gonna be good as gold.